and it's got three little grub screws, and I think they're about half a millimeter across.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Peanuts. We're just gone live, and Alan's showing us his lens.
ring.
My really broken old 1950s German camera.
Well, take it back and buy a new one.
Yeah, it's a bit more. And it's got three little grub screws. Oh
Okay,
shit!
who's that? Who's that? Kick him out, farmer. Kick him, farmer.
No, he's the one who's talking. Don't kick him out. Just let him mute the live stream.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I hadn't realised it
No,
wasn't
that's
you.
okay. It's okay. It's all good. Don't panic. Don't panic.
Don't panic.
Don't panic.
If I've cured I should be able to go back into Discord because I was thinking
So,
maybe I've got too many apps.
so you
Open.
finished with show and tell, Alan?
Yeah, I think I finished with show and tell.
Okay.
Right, that seems to fix my webcam then, because that hasn't flickered
you're not
since, has it?
flickering now. You're not sending me with the headache looking.
Good, because I had that the other day as well in the meeting, but I thought quite often when we use Amazon Chime, for some reason, it hosts in Paris. And it's like, we're all here in the UK. Why have you got an online call being hosted in bleeding Paris when I know it can be hosted in London? And I thought maybe that was the reason, but no, I think it's just plug it straight back into the back of the PC seems to have cured it. So I didn't actually need to buy this webcam, but
I know this is a touchy subject with the panel and some of the peanuts, but have you been playing with your tanks at all lately?
no, not really. I ought to.
Because
I've been too bloody busy.
I've been getting onto those watching those military tank museum one that's in Australia.
I've watched some of that. Yeah, I was watching one the other day. They're rebuilding a Stug, which is basically a turretless tank, a German tank.
I'm going to send them an email and ask them, is it okay if we play some of their videos?
Oh yeah.
To
sort of prevent getting a copyright strike.
What?
Yeah.
Oh dear. Because the tank parts are relevant in some contexts with me because I like the manufacturing, the fabrication, the assembling, all those components of it. That's the part that interests me.
But to be honest, Terry, particularly like this week, when you finally stop working and you think, oh, it's 9:30 at night. All I want to do is just sort of crash out and watch something on the telly rather than go and sit in that chair and start prattling around with that stuff.
I just do that.
No. So I might have done a bit of it this weekend, but as I'm out all day tomorrow,
that's an afternoon thing, isn't it? Like after lunch, before dinner, maybe have a tinker.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm not quite so busy, if I think, I've got a couple of days to get this done, I will, because you shouldn't sit in front of a computer all day, every day. I will take a break and do some of it, but I ain't had a chance this week. I mean, I've been out all the bloody time.
Yeah.
And then when you do come back, you've got all the paperwork to do with what you've just been out on site doing. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it's great for me bank balance, but bloody hell.
Well, you got to sit in front of the computer. That's the downside of the job.
Hey, when teachers say there's no such thing as a dumb question?
They bloody are.
You know where I'm going with this, don't you? I've just found a question on the internet. Someone asked, how do projectors project the colour black?
That is a dumb question.
That is pretty dumb, isn't it?
Well, yes and no.
What is black? That's the more important question. Before you ask how do they project black, what is black?
I was watching an action lab to do with that. To do with black.
Because when you buy projectors, digital projectors, the ability to do a good black varies from projector to projector.
Same with the TV. That's always a sign of a good TV. How well does it do black? Not just the bits on the screen that isn't displaying anything, but actual black. Yeah.
Does it look grey or does it look black?
Exactly. That's the sign of a good TV. Just how black is black.
Truth.
Blacker than black alloy. We're heading
No,
into
no such thing as a dumb question. Don't know flat earthers. Yeah, that's true.
There's that.
Hi, Judy. Morning, C4. So why
if
are we
I
here?
painted the inside of a room, with the world's blackest paint, and then and then went inside with the world's brightest torch, what would happen?
I think you get a headache.
Yeah, I think actually we covered that one.
That'd be seriously trippy, wouldn't it?
I'm sure Action Labs did that with that super duper black paint and a really bright torch. Yeah,
It did.
Okay,
I have to have a look for that. Yeah, because that's just got to be so screwy.
I remember seeing it maybe 18 months ago.
Can't remember the name of the paint, but it has got a name, hasn't it?
It's also hellish expensive.
Oh god, yeah.
It's not only just the paint, but having a paint that doesn't reflect any light. Not just the black too. So
Let's start with a V. Is it a V? Oh, yeah. I happen to be on that site as well at the moment.
Well, I'm doing it for you. Now we're gonna find
All right,
it.
who's making a cuppa?
I am making.
someone's stirring there.
I'm stirring up a green fairy.
Ah, Rip, you're on the opposite.
I think he'd done that a while back. So
Yeah, like I said, ages and ages ago.
What? Paul's just a stirrer.
yeah, Paul's just
Yeah, he's
you should
well
hear,
known for
you
it.
should hear him over in the Discord, other Discords. He stirs those flat earthers, all right.
Oh yeah. Well, they do ask for it.
When they're not interrupting him. What
isn't
colour
black.
is a black hole?
Is that it?
No, that's not it.
Ah, that's it. That's the stuff. Vanta black.
Well,
world's black. Is that the one? What, the darkest material in the world, visible?
Oh, I found it. It's not that long. It's only a year ago. I painted my entire room with Musu black, the world's blackest paint.
Have I gone too far down? I might be a year ago.
Someone has actually done this, have they?
10th. It looks like it.
Yeah, there it is.
Blackest paint, Muso black.
And next one down to in the middle.
Painting my entire room.
Yeah, Muso black.
There we are. That's it.
Right.
Oh, so they've made the little room up.
Put it in your list. We can watch it later.
Oh, it looks like something out of the Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody video. Oh, there's the rest of it. It was just his head.
Yeah, we can share a little bit of this bits and pieces we're doing.
Go forward to about 4.5 minutes. It looks very weird.
Right, there you go. He's already painted it. He's inside it there.
But it's still reflective. Go wait for it to dry.
Yeah.
What's he putting on there? Sorry, Peanuts, I have no idea what I'm looking
at. One of the best comments in there. Me. Want to see my room? Friends. Yeah. Me. Me too. Can't see it. Oh, that is so weird. Just see him screwing in a light bulb and it's like he's screwing it into nothing. You know, it's nothing there. Oh, that's weird.
What's he going to do now? Oh, he's done that.
What's that second stuff he put on? Is that the stuff that was really matte?
Don't know. I'd have to go back and listen to it.
Yeah, well, we don't. That's weird. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, that was the bit I meant. You look, and it's like, well, he's just in nowhere.
It's like he's standing in midair.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's quite Vanta black. I think it's nearly Vanta black, but not quite.
Screwing the light bulb into nothing.
It just looks so bloody weird, doesn't it? It's like a really good mime artist, I'll just screw this into here. There's nothing there.
This will answer Paul's question.
Wow.
He doesn't shine a really bright torch in you, though.
And he does a floating head. He holds something up in front of him, so it's just a floating head. And you just need 3 other guys to come in and go scaradaboosh, scaradaboosh.
There you go.
Can you do the Can you do the fandango? They're like the tips of his fingers either side. They're like little stars.
That's well weird. I like it. There you go. When every teenager says, "I want to paint my bedroom black," yeah, there you go. That's what it'd be like.
That's what's going to happen.
Are you sure about that?
Well, they'd be able to make a mess, and you wouldn't be able to know what's in there.
Well, you're just going to walk in and trip over everything, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, I suppose not, because if you open the door, then you're going to see things. But yeah, it's.
Here's another tricky question for you.
Debunked. Yes, Truth Nerds.
Here's another tricky question for you. Like, you know how you can use a magnifying glass to light bits of paper with the sun,
Yeah.
Do you reckon you could use a magnifying glass in the moon to do the same thing?
Sorry, you reckon you could do what?
Could you use moonlight to do the same thing?
No.
Well, there's not enough. There's not enough light, is there? I mean, we know that moonlight is reflected sunlight, but it's.
What if we had like hundreds of big magnifying glasses?
I don't think there's enough infrared in the reflected light, personally.
If you magnified it and magnified it and magnified it through a series of lenses, collimating the light. I'm sure somebody somewhere's tried.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Probably Action Labs.
We'll see if Action Labs has done it.
But I just don't know whether there's enough energy there in the first place to be able to do it.
Paul and I discussed this earlier.
Yeah, Timbo knows the answer. I know the answer.
Yeah. So I won't comment, but wait till you guys think about it for a bit. I have a possible solution, Paul, but I don't know. It's only a theoretical one.
Yeah, what's your solution?
I was just having a look for what has the lowest auto ignition point, and so phosphorus or selene. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
If you could get something hot enough from the sun to get those ignited, maybe. I never heard of this stuff. Terethylbromine, ethyl triethylborane, TRIETHYLBORANE. It's apparently -20.
Okay. Well, you could probably ignite that with it.
Well, that wouldn't work, because as soon as you bring it out, it would, even without the sun, even without the moon.
Yeah. Yeah, it turns out that according to a law of physics, you can't raise the temperature of anything with any system of magnifying lenses or mirrors or whatever, with any optical system. You can't raise the temperature of the thing you're trying to heat up any hotter than the source of the light that you're concentrating in the first place.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so most of the moon's reflected light is the light that comes from the moon is actually in the infrared, Alan. It's only about 12% or less that's in the visible spectrum. The rest is black body radiation at about 100 degrees. So you're not going to be able to get anything hotter than about 100 degrees with lenses and mirrors and stuff, no matter how big lens you use. You're not going to get it any hotter than that.
Well, I was right, but for the wrong reason then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they say there's just not enough. What light you're getting reflected off the moon, there just isn't enough energy there to do it.
Doesn't that go against the cold moonlight theory?
Yeah, well, yeah, that whole theory is just bollocks in the first place.
Yeah.
You know, you can't use light to cool something down.
Well, it's not quite true.
Well, okay, not in that context anyway. Yeah, I know you can, but
yeah,
sorry,
not like that.
Not like that. No. In general everyday life, you're not going to cool anything down with moonlight or any other light. But that is the problem as well. It you know, nuance and things like that. Flat earthers just go, "What? Who's she? Who's nuance?" You know.
That's why I was talking to Paul about if I could find a material that had a water ignition point low enough, you could possibly maybe get the moonlight to ignite it.
Yeah, that'd be really low, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, that was the 3 that I came across. Was phosphorus is white phosphorus has got a water ignition point of 34 degrees.
Oh yes, let's play with white phosphorus. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Can you get this to light? If it's from a distance, yes. Bloody hell.
That'd work. I did propose another thing, but that was cheating. We decided.
Do you know that the Willie Pete white phosphorus grenades were originally designed just for target marking? Then they found out it's really good at setting light to things, like people.
Or anything, really.
That's the problem, anything, you know, and it's no good if you get it on you. Don't go and put your hand in water.
Yeah.
Doesn't stop it burning. It bloody nasty stuff. And yeah, and it was just designed because when it went off, it made this big white explosion. It was like, yeah, they should target. If I lob a Willie Pete on it, that'll mark for target. Yeah, fucking awful stuff. Oh, talking of awful stuff.
Yeah. Go for it.
Well, yeah, look. Talking of awful stuff.
Oh, sorry, yeah. You're talking about what the peanuts can't see.
Yes, they can't see it.
Okay. I was going to talking of awful stuff. Didn't the Americans use depleted uranium in their A10s?
Amongst many other things, yes, but the A10 rounds.
But then didn't tell their ground troops, and so they would approach the burnt out tanks and get radiation poisoning.
Yes, pretty much, because depleted uranium is extraordinarily dense. Was it the second densest? Pretty much the second densest material we know of. So it's very good at putting in the high velocity round to punch its way through armor.
Yeah, I thought they used DU in one of the anti-tank projectiles for the Abrams as well.
Oh yeah, it gets used all over the place, but it's most definitely used in the A10 rounds because a 1 second burst, that's 70 rounds. Some I don't think they're all armor piercing. I think there's a mix, but yeah, they definitely use depleted uranium cores in them. Yeah. And of course, that all fragments and leaves bits of radiated material in the air and all around the vehicle, and then American soldiers come up to inspect the tank and breathe it in.
We've totally forgotten something.
No, we haven't, because Paul's now put a couple of clues up in the side chat. That's what I was waiting for. I thought, maybe.
So today's scientist was a German physicist who's best known for his development of the detector part of a particular type of radiation detector, together with
And
Jonas
Scroober.
Marsden, he set the scene for the discovery of the atomic nucleus. And he
Hans
is...
Gruber.
Or Fred Knotts? Is it Fred Knotts, right?
I'm not sure about the hair.
The hair's not right.
No.
And the surname's not spelt correctly either.
Okay.
That's the one, Truth Nerds, yeah. That's him. His first name was actually Johannes, but they just called him Hans.
Hans, okay.
What? Jazz hands. Hi, I'm Hans, but jazz to my friends. Yeah.
That goes down really. I'm sure that goes down really well with all the Germans.
Oh God, yeah. He's not my favourite Geiger. Let's put it that way. See if you can think of another famous Geiger, spelt slightly differently, of course.
Nah. No one?
Press play.
You haven't even figured out which one it was that we're up to.
Does it matter?
No, not really.
Well, I know he's actually he's behind because that's 3 weeks ago. That's it.
Really?
Yeah, that's the last one. It was 3 weeks ago.
Oh,
I
maybe
don't
the
think we
nurses
played-
have finally upped his dosage.
This one says part 1, so I'm just wondering why that one's not read all the way along for some reason. That one.
You went back and watched some. You secretly go back and watch them at night, don't you, Terry?
No, I don't.
No. What, when you're having trouble sleeping? I know.
Right.
I watch
Yeah,
some
puts you
Lindsay.
to sleep, all right.
Yeah, well, you're right.
Have we got a list of bingo tonight for phrases?
Oh, we didn't do that, did we?
Well, I'm sticking with my first choice from last time, the Beaufort Gaia. I like that, the Beaufort Gaia.
Well, I'm going with Matt's choice because that was good. Tropical zone. Was it tropical?
Well, what I like about the Beaufort Gaia is it is actually a thing.
I'll go for toroidal field.
Having said that, if he says it in the next few minutes, I'll miss it because I could do with another cup of tea.
Well, yeah, I'm due for that too. Well, go and do those chores that you've been putting off for the next 10 minutes, roughly.
Oh, I didn't hoover the stairs. That's true.
Yeah, can't do that yet. Or go and paint your room, or mow the lawn.
Just make sure the grass is going out the front for.
Make a sandwich, cup of tea.
Cup of tea and a slice of cake.
Feed the cat.
They can feed themselves.
I'll go for spiralling down.
Oh, yeah, that's.
What about cattle?
Yeah, that's a fair
What
one.
about the kettle?
Do you think he puts these videos up in order? Because I'm sure that image he did there, he did last week.
Well, he leaves it up on the board and he just keeps going.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But
well, this one we're going back on, so I'm just wondering if we've missed this one. If you look on his show, I'll show the peanuts. They can see themselves. So I'm just wondering if we did watch that one, because these ones have been shown as watched.
Yeah, I'd thought we would have seen that one then.
Sometimes YouTube gets weird and removes the red line or partially removes the red line of videos you've actually watched all the way through.
Yeah, because that other one, Flat Earth Star Cycles, that's showing that you haven't watched it all. But you can bet your boots we have watched it all. I would suggest that we might actually have caught up and we've got this very latest one to watch.
I wonder if he's removed any, because I'm sure that one...
There was plenty after that. I'm sure there was.
Oh, there was this one. Earth's Secret is behind and above the... There's no board on that one. It's just him waving his arms around.
I was going to say, what is that behind him?
It's a sheet. It's something covering his whiteboard. So he's not got nothing on the board for that one. Just him waving his arms around. I will try that one to see if we've watched. Because I know we watched that one.
We've watched that one.
I watched that one.
I can't believe that we'd have a gap in the middle there like that. We must have watched that one.
We must have watched this one. We'll see if the Peanuts have got a good memory to see if we've watched this one. Okay? That's the deal. Right. We'll just see. Okay, you all ready to go? All the speeds.
Yeah.
Guess who turned up?
Hang on.
Guess who turned up? Guess who turned up?
Q David. Sorry, Matt.
Afternoon.
Go on, say the magic words. Go on, do it.
Terry.
Oh, hello, Matt. How you been? Long time no see.
Not too bad. I know. I'm a bit late today.
You get a late note from your mum?
Yeah. I'll give you that later on. Yeah, I got a late note from my mum. Got a doctor's note. Yeah. I soiled myself. You see.
Okay. So what can I do for you today? Anything?
Yeah. If you wouldn't mind, dear chap, if you wouldn't mind, see that little triangle button, the play button. If you wouldn't mind pressing that, thank you. That would be great.
Oh yeah, that one way over there in the corner there. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that before. When they put that there?
Well, I'll tell you what you do is you put your mouse cursor over it and then you click your left mouse button.
Okay. How about I do it this way by pressing my space bar? Would that work?
Yeah, you can do that as well, yeah.
Okay.
That'll work too, yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Hi everybody, welcome to Flat Earth Philosophy. It's Sunday here on a beautiful Sunday morning, 28th of August in New Zealand. Being a Sunday, I thought I'd do a bit of preaching. Sit tight, you atheists.
God.
So I'll get into that in a second, but it's just something
I'm sure we've seen this before.
Well, I want to know the difference between ionisation and electrolysis, because to me they're the same. And sure enough, they are the same. It says here, the key difference between ionisation and electrolysis is that ionisation is the formation of chemical species having an electrical charge, whereas electrolysis is the process of using an electrical current to carry out a non-spontaneous chemical reaction. So it is the same thing. This is what's happening in the tropics here. Trying to explain what it is. Physics understands what's happening here in about 5 different methods, systems. But what's happening is, so you can think of it as electrolysis through hydrogen atoms.
Say it, tropical gap. Go on, say it.
The ionisation.
Oh, you want your tropical gap again, don't you?
And bear in mind, it is written, a man will come and rule the world.
I already
with an iron
claimed
rod.
tropical gap.
Oh, you
damn
did,
it,
yeah. Sorry,
did you?
Matt,
right.
That's
cheating.
Anyway, what
that's
it
my
means
thing.
is a male, a proton, an ionisation will come and act like an iron rod. Ionisation.
You can talk about farmers, he's not here at the moment.
Rule the world. Because this system runs the whole world. It's a recycling system.
I said toroidal vortex.
It's the kinetic energy in the flowing water that comes from the Arctic to the tropics. Spins around the tropics, basically. And the hydrogen molecules build up this energy and they get quite energized. They will leave the molecule or atom, whatever, and seek they're seeking this lower pressure medium in the tropics. So they're trying to find equilibrium. So it's a high pressure meeting a low pressure type thing to find equilibrium. So they'll leave the water and they rise up through the earth. It's gaseous form, of course. It's all micromechanical stuff. What do you call it?
Come on.
Forget the term. Anyway, that's what's happening up here. It's all about atoms. Everything's atomic, as much as everyone likes to deny it. The magnetic field represents the electrons. The central is the proton, the male, the rising male, to rule the world, because that's what feeds the sun. Without the sun, there's no life on Earth. So, if you're interested, read this site here. It just says difference.com. Difference between ionisation and electrolysis. Read it all.
Okay.
Understand. There's a lot of other physics you can read that explain this gap. Because another way to explain it is capacitance. What do they call it? the dielectric. This is the dielectric with inside the two plates. Look that up. It's all explained here too. It acts the same way. Anyway, back to
Did
the
he just
Sunday
say tropical
spiritual
gap
stuff.
or something else?
Let's start with a bit of cultural history. Now, some of you might understand the history or the culture beliefs of the ancient Hawaiians, and they're closely connected to Rapa Nui, Easter Island, and also New Zealand, the New Zealand Maori. There's this connection there. It's a triangle in the Pacific there, and the story goes. Well, I'll just try and read what I've got here. Rapa Nui in Maori is Te Pitu o Te Henua, which means the belly button of the world. Now, there's the flat earth design looking down on it, right? Let's get rid of all this. Well, Rapa Nui, Easter Island ends up down here. Well, this is the magnetic field of Earth. Like this. There, belly button. It's not the centre of the world. The belly button. How did they know this? This is the magnetic field that runs over Earth. The belly button. And we've got Rapa Nui, Te Reo Maori, and Te Reo Rapa Nui, Te Reo, is similar to Te Reo Maori. Speakers of either language can communicate with each other. This is Hawaiian and
Is this all Maori?
Rapa Nui. Easter Island.
stuff.
Well, he's Kiwi.
Yeah, that's
Rapa
what I mean.
Nui.
So this
Rapa,
sounds
Ra,
very
as in Ra, sun.
Maori.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Pa Nui,
Yeah, he brings in
big,
some
grand,
now and
great,
No, it's a mixture of everything.
superior,
Yeah,
meaning the sun is the superior
South
one.
Pacific Islander language.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Somewhere in that region.
what's
Anyway.
mind-blowing is Hotu Matua. You look into that, Hotu Matua
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
in Hiva, the central island of Arctic Investone. Hiva. You got Hiva, you got Indian and Shiva. There's a connection between India and the Hawaiians.
Okay,
Go deep into
Shiva.
that. This is a chief's name apparently, Hotu Matua. So Hotu, to be, come into existence. And Matua, parent or father. It all goes back to the central creation. The father's back in here. And it's an internal thing too with the human brain. You two hemispheres, what's going on in here? It's a blown up view of what's happening in here. So you can think of it, it's all in here. This is our place of rest, our divinity between the two hemispheres of the brain, the pineal
A
gland
very
and all
pretty
that.
picture was farmers boys stuck
So
in
to
his
come
face.
into existence, this is creation, this is your enlightenment, meaning to life. All the
I
ancients knew
saw
about
that.
this stuff.
A big
They
great
even knew
big
about the
blob
third
of
person.
food coming out.
Yeah,
your
No,
we
the
can
male and the
see
female
it.
and the third person. The third person is the unification of the male and the female,
Right.
the enlightened one.
Cheers.
It's the meaning to life. What else we got here? Alaska, see, the Hawaiian story goes,
Was that tasty? Was it?
not exactly
Another one,
organised here, but this chief sailed from
What on
Alaska
earth has he got?
to Hawaii.
Snacker jacks.
Alaska wind is
Right.
from the north.
Oh, they're
of
nice,
the-
I like them.
dealing with.
I've got two left in the packet. I thought that would do.
The violent, cold, northerly wind bore all. Okay. Well, the story goes. What have we got here? Te papa, to stick, adhere. Yeah. So te papa, te rapa, to stick, adhere,
Te papa
cling
or te
to,
papa?
is basically talking about the magnetic lock, magnetically locked in the black hole. Our whole universe is in a spiral, and it's all magnetically locked to the center hole. That everything spins around it. They describe it all, but you've got to go deep with understanding their mythological stories. So what have we got here? Rapa equals Hebrew. In Hebrew, let go, be still. Yeah. See, state of rest. Because that's what the black hole's all about. It's a state of rest. It's equilibrium. Let go and be still. This is
State
like
of rest,
meditation.
really?
Let go, be still.
Black
Let go,
hole.
be.
He stretches
Go into your dark
the
place.
phrase. Does that? I don't know how he does that.
Some other language got Rapa as a turnip.
Yeah,
So
go
it's
near
shaped
a
like a
black
turnip.
hole and see how much
The
you
central
rest.
vortex. Look, turnip. Hotu Matua.
Turnip.
We've gone through
We're
that.
gonna turn up now.
Anyway, the Hawaiian story is the chief left Alaska and sailed to Hawaii with his wife, 3 sons, and his 3 sons' wives. What other story does that sound like? That's Noah's story. Sailing out in the water, to do with water. He lived with his
we're going
wife
back
and
to
his
Christianity now.
Yeah.
3 sons' wives. But they're not the suns up in the sky, the suns you know. It's to do with protons and electrons, pairings and all that. I've done that in previous videos.
So actual people.
Now the religious side. Let's now the Bible. The Bible is a book of physics. Or you call it metaphysics.
No, it's not. It really isn't.
I can't go and grab a page and start reading it to someone because it's not how you do it. You can't do it like that. It's all over the place, and only certain people can understand it. So when it talks about the olive leaf.
Speaking said we're very cynical. Are we cynical?
That's Earth.
I was just replying to Spooky.
Yes,
yeah,
yes, we are.
Just
11 minutes. That's early, isn't it?
Just as
11
well
minutes.
getting
That's a
into
bit
it.
short. That's a
Well,
bit
it
short. 11
went
minutes.
for
Usually
10
goes to
minutes.
17, doesn't it?
No, it went
Usually
for
goes to
10 minutes.
17, doesn't it?
No, 10 minutes. This one went for 11 minutes. Just
Well,
as well
personally
getting
speaking,
into
I'd be happy with 11.5 minutes, but you know.
we're just getting into that. We can always play another one.
No.
I think the peanuts would revolt, and we don't want revolting peanuts.
Are the peanuts revolting?
Yeah, they do smell a bit.
The Earth is an olive leaf. How did we get an olive leaf out of the Earth from that RT96?
Well, and more importantly, if the Earth is an olive leaf, what is that leaf hiding?
No, fig leaves, you mean?
It's a leaf. Work with me here. Come on.
Throw me a bone. Come on.
Yeah, okay.
I'll take the fig leaves. They're a little bit bigger than the olive
I'll
leaves.
tell you what.
Yeah, you wish. You wish. Tell you what were you going to say, farmers? You said you'd tell you what. I always got a mouthful of food now.
Oh, what was that, farmer? What was that? Huh?
He's got a mouthful of food.
Hey,
He can't.
Go on, respond.
No, you ain't gonna. Yeah, take a sip of tea. There you go. Wash it down, and I'll be able to speak now.
Now I can talk. There you go. It's rude to talk with your mouth full, unless you're a female 70s porn star.
That's what she said. I was going to say. Yeah.
And for somehow they could talk with a mouthful. Never could figure out how they do that, but you know.
Let's not go there. Come on. Okay. What were you going to say? Go on, carry on.
No. It's gone. It's gone.
Was that it now? Was that it?
We waited all that time.
Just patient.
Patient.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We were talking about fig leaves and olive leaves.
Were we? Who was?
Oh yeah, we were. Yeah.
Oh, we were.
Yeah, and
okay.
then you
And Timbo said he preferred a fig leaf because it's much bigger.
because it's much bigger. Yeah.
Right. I think the turtle needs a fig leaf because he looks a bit naked there.
No, he's got a bit around. He's got a bit around his shell, kind of curves around and.
Well, you watch. He can put his hands there to cover up his private bits.
Yeah, we'll have to do that.
No, you do. When you move your hands, it does.
Yeah.
No, it's not quite worth that.
A bit weird.
He looks like he's having some sort of medical emergency, shall I put it?
He's just checking his chest area.
You can't see me. Camera can't see me. That's not bad.
No.
No, it looks like he's holding his stomach there for a bit. Sore tummy.
Oh, he has had his hands down
gonna
there
happen.
to cover himself up.
Is he?
Yeah, I have to get back so the camera can see all of me to do that. That didn't happen. We'll stop that. I've started work on my next. So this green turtle is going to disappear in a few weeks and have something else.
We're getting so used to that turtle.
According to Spooky Bed Hair, apparently poor Lindsay just needs interpreting.
Yeah. Well, didn't
I
I
think
have
he needs more than that,
subtitles
but
on?
anyway. No, I don't think you did, no.
I forget to turn them on.
I think we can safely assume that YouTube subtitles wouldn't be of any help.
No.
They struggle at the best of times, but they won't. They definitely won't make any sense out of Lindsay.
I mean, it struggles with Dale, doesn't it? Yeah, Dale the Shed Rage.
Well, I've got subtitles on for our live stream, so anything you guys say gets reinterpreted.
What? Into something sensible?
No, it's not that clever.
I was going to say, yeah.
I'm just watching. I'm just watching the subtitles come up when you're talking.
I'm just watching the other person. It said
on the shows we have subtitles of a sort. It just sort of translates your chat text, to what we're talking about in the actual show. And on the odd occasion, it will prop up with something that apparently you said, and you've not spoken a word. It's weird. It just crop up. Hang on a minute, I didn't even speak. Why does it say that? Yeah, strange.
Well, what's next?
Yeah, what's next?
Well, it's a toss-up between you and Turtle now because we seem to have a change in scheduling from Wednesday to Saturday. Mr. Turtle and Mr. Paul have decided
I'm going to take Saturdays, and Timbo's going to take Wednesdays. Yeah.
Oh, so it's a Paul quiz today. Is it?
It's a Paul quiz today, but I do have a thought experiment for you.
Oh, we'd like thought. You're not thought done.
You like thoughts, do you? Do you like thoughts?
You're not thought done.
Okay, so what we have today is a thought experiment of the day. Can you see that?
Yep. We can see thought experiment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Was that it? Oh, good. I got it right for change.
No. All right. So what I have here is I have a bench that's painted white, and I've got a black object standing vertically there, and I've got 3 coloured globes. I've got a red globe, a green globe, and a blue globe. And I switch those globes on. What am I expected to see on the wall behind the object? Any ideas? Any thoughts?
You will probably see a converging of shadows with mixture of all 3 colours behind the object on the thing. But what colour it will merge into, I'm not entirely sure. Green, red, and blue. RGB.
Yeah, but if the pillar is black, does that change the shadow?
I'm pretty sure on the back wall you will see it'll be cyan, magenta, and yellow, and where the overlapping shadows are.
Okay, so we any other thoughts? Anyone else?
Hey everyone, today I'm going to be...
I'm going with spooky bed hair.
What does spooky bed hair say?
Where's the bouncing lady?
Where's the bouncing lady? That's come up in the quiz.
I love that comment. Yeah, sod all this. Where's the bouncing lady?
Yeah, where's the bouncing
lady? He's cheated us today. He's cheated us.
No, it's just prolonging it, delaying it.
Yeah.
So you expect that we'd see 3 shadows, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I think you'll do is you'll see 3 shadows, but they're kind of converging. You see part of 3 shadows. I think that's probably what.
Why would you see 3 shadows?
Well, because there's 3 light sources.
Yeah, okay, that's pretty logical, isn't it?
Yeah.
You'd see 3 shadows because there are 3 light sources.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the argument that the flat earthers use on the moon landings all the time, isn't
right,
it?
Exactly, yeah.
As they say, we should see more shadows.
No, there's only
one
light
source. The thing is, yeah, so you want to know what colour are those shadows going to be? All right, Alan's already given an answer. Whether it's correct or not, we'll wait and see. But I want to hear what some other people think first.
I suspect that. Oh, I was going to say one would be black, but I'm just trying to think. Would the yes?
I mean, technically speaking,
So
it would be
I'm
white,
gonna
isn't it? I mean, the middle
suggest-
shadow would be white, but because the object.
Yes, but that'll create a black shadow on the behind the
on the wall.
in the middle.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's what I'm confused.
Think about it, Timbo. A black shadow. What
Yeah.
would that mean?
I mean, no light got there.
Yeah. Is there any place on that back wall where no light would shine?
That's what I was just trying to think.
Sun in the
So
middle.
probably not. So you got blue over there, you got red over there. So you're not going to end up with a black shadow.
All right. So this is the situation that you're going to see. Okay. So there will be 3 shadows, but the shadow on the left there is created by the object blocking the blue light. All right. So up here you've got the blue light being blocked, but not the red and the green light.
Yeah.
In the center shadow, you've got the green light being blocked, but not the red and the blue light. Okay, because that'll shine past the object to hit the wall in that location. And on the right-hand side, you've got a shadow where the red light is blocked. So if on the left-hand side you've got the blue light blocked, that means that the red and the green light will be shining on to that
It would be
part.
orange, yeah.
No, it won't be orange.
How's-
What colour do red
sorry,
and green
red
make?
Red and green. What am I talking
Yeah.
about? I did 3-unit art and I didn't answer that question right.
Ah, this is different than art, though. You need to do physics to understand this, Timbo, not art.
Yeah.
Right? Art is all about mixing colours of paint, which is an absorptive process, right? Where you take colours out of what you mix. Because the more things you mix together, the more colours of light that you take out of what is reflected.
Oh, Alan's right, because it's cyan. That's going to be yellow. So it's gonna be cyan, yellow, and magenta. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see now.
Because red and green light, when you combine red and green light together, you actually get yellow light.
Yellow light.
Yeah. Right? And the middle one, being an absence of green, means you'll only get the blue and the red light shining onto that location, and you'll get magenta.
Yeah.
And on the other one, an absence of red light will only mean that the green and the blue light is there, and you'll get cyan. So what you should expect to see is those colours, yellow, magenta, and cyan-coloured shadows. It's a pretty easy thing to try if you've got coloured globes. Try it and put your finger in front, and you'll see quite pretty coloured shadows.
Nice one, Alan. Well done, Alan.
And you would argue you'll get a white background too, because the cut. But is that be right? Because the ambient light would end up being white.
Everywhere else where there's no shadow, you'll get the red, the green, and the blue light combining, which will make white light.
White.
Yeah. Paul, I did have a big advantage in that I used to do color photographic printing. So you do the reverse with that though. You actually use yellow, magenta, and cyan filters.
Yep.
To mix the red, green, and blue onto the paper.
Opposite way around, gotcha.
Yep.
Which is why you'll quite often find in a lot of color plotters, they have 4 color cartridges. The first one being black, and the other 3 being yellow, cyan, and magenta.
Yeah, because the actual true primary colors are indeed yellow, cyan, and magenta.
Yeah.
Not red,
green, and blue.
Yeah. Well, in art, it's not red, green, and blue, is it?
You mean
what is it?
Red, yellow, and blue?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. So there you go.
I've just posted something in. I think it's come up. Fair suck, I think.
Oh yeah, you have
that together. Yeah.
All right. So
there you go.
Here's where he wants. He wants
the
bouncy
ladies.
So there's the bounce. There's the bouncing ladies. So. Here's your hard quiz for the night now. All right.
Well, give us a minute. Gentlemen, be upstanding.
we need something to cleanse the brain after that too.
Oh, that does it nicely. Yeah, oh, blimey,
yeah. Has your brains destroyed enough yet?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Let me get the chat up. I need to get the chat up.
Oh yes, let's make sure I send it to the right person. Mr.
All right.
Geiger.
Yeah,
Geiger.
that's with Timbo. That's the one you sent it to. Yeah. So.
Yep. Okay, question 1. A section of this B-flat major song begins with staccato A major piano chords. What would this be?
I'm just trying to think of a song that starts with staccato piano chords.
It doesn't start with staccato piano chords. There's a section of the song that starts with
that has
staccato A major piano chords.
Okay, I'm taking a punt at that one.
Oh, straight away.
You would be right, Farmers.
Thank you. That was my first.
clue.
Yes, that was my first guess from that. Yeah.
No.
Oh yes.
And
Oh,
I'll
wow.
also give the points to Spooky Bed Hair out there as well.
No way.
I see.
Oh, my word.
Of a
Yeah.
man. It's
I'm
straight
a
away.
huge Queen fan as well.
right.
I should have got that.
I was just too damn slow typing, wasn't I?
I'll give you the rest of the clues anyway. Producer Roy Thomas Baker made at least 160 separate overdubs for this song. And at the end of its music video, a 60-inch symphonic gong is hit by drummer Roger Taylor.
I would have got it with that. That's not fair.
Yeah.
I would have got it with that. I would have taken that. Damn
Sorry,
it.
Matt.
Yeah. This song begins with a 4-part a cappella section, and its protagonist notes later that it's too late and his time has come. You should have got it from that.
Yeah,
for
definitely.
sure. The song's protagonist sometimes wishes he'd never been born at all, and he says in its opera section that Beelzebub has a devil put aside for me.
No, it's a sideboard.
Yeah.
He misread the lyrics. It's actually Beelzebub has a sideboard for him.
Oh, okay. Name this song with lots of Galileos by Queen that begins, is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Of
And
course.
if you didn't get it from that, there's some
Wade's World. There you go. It had to be.
Yeah. It is Queen with Bohemian Rhapsody. Well done.
Damn you,
There's
Farmers.
an easy
Damn
one
you.
for them, though.
Whenever
Spooky.
you're out on the road and you see somebody suddenly break out into headbanging like that, you think,
You know.
good lad, you're listening to Bo Rap.
Yeah.
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 Because it has to be done.
Okay. Question 2. This quantity's operator is the generator of translations, and the derivative of energy with respect to it is the group velocity.
I'm not getting this one on the first question.
What quantity is this? I'll follow it up with another quick clue then. This quantity is the generalized velocity derivative of the Lagrangian, and its space is also called k-space, as it is proportional to inverse wavelength by the de Broglie relation. What quantity is it? Not frequency, Alan, no.
Slice of frequency, please.
By Noether's theorem, translational invariance implies its conservation, and its conjugate variable is position. This quantity squared over twice the mass is the kinetic energy, and its time derivative is the force. May the force be with you. Come on, impulse gives the change in this quantity, which is conserved in inelastic collisions.
Couple more answers in the chat. I don't know if any of those.
Yeah, there are.
Is that it, Paul?
Gary Volts.
Gary Olis.
Gary Elvis. It's not velocity. Name this vector quantity equal to mass times velocity.
Oh, yes.
That should give it to you.
Yes.
That's the one, Big Blue. It is momentum.
Momentum.
You were beaten comprehensively by Stark Order out there.
Stark Order.
Stark Otter, sorry.
Oh, yes.
And then Truth Nerd's got it. Yeah, it is momentum or linear momentum. Yeah. That was the hard one for the night. Okay, question 3. France banned this good in 1748 under the belief that it caused leprosy, a measure that was overturned through the efforts of Antoine Parmentier.
That it
What did they
caused
ban?
leprosy. What could they possibly think might cause leprosy?
Not fish and chips.
Oh! God, Paul, you nearly got me tea all over my bloody. At least it didn't come out my nose.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one when it comes out your nose, yeah.
Frederick the Great was known as the king of this good for encouraging its cultivation. Not frog legs, not coconuts. That's the one, Matt.
Yay!
Not the pineapple, Alan. No. And Truth Nerds comes out with the right answer in the peanuts. It was indeed, as Matt said, potatoes.
Yay!
Yeah.
And they thought that caused leprosy.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently
this
so.
good gives the alternate name of the War of the Bavarian Succession. Yeah. The lumper variety of this good suffered a disaster that caused many people to practice superism or flee in vessels known as coffin ships. Yeah.
Wow.
And a blight of this good decreased the population of a European nation by 25%. That would have been Ireland. Yeah,
the Irish.
Name this foodstuff that suffered the great famine of the 1840s in Ireland. It was indeed the potato.
Spud.
Do you know the potatoes for McDonald's are grown at Crookle, just a little bit north of Goulburn?
No, I didn't know that, but I do now.
Yeah.
It helps to watch random videos sometimes, random documentaries. It really
Yeah,
does.
I guess so. Yeah.
It's completely random when I read about this.
Okay, question 4. It's not a writer, but one character with this profession makes films at Auschwitz. Flints at Auschwitz, and another works under Max Gottlieb at the Caribbean island Saint Hubert. What profession is this?
Something makes flints. Auschwitz.
It's not Gary. Septimus Hodge wonders what becomes of free will when considering the work of a man with this profession.
It's obviously an immoral profession of some sort.
Really?
Yeah, well, Septimus Hodge wonders what becomes of free will when considering the work of a man with this profession.
A character talks to Dr. Asa Breed about a man in his cuirass with this profession before visiting San Lorenzo with that man's children. What profession? Not a waiter, not a cobbler, not a typographer. A character with this profession describes his time studying at Ingolstadt to Robert Walpole. That character's creation frightens and kills his fiancée Elizabeth. What profession is this? Not a phone sanitizer?
Nearly.
Dear. Not a journalist. Identify this profession of Victor Frankenstein and Isaac Newton. What were they? That's right, Alan. And that's right, Dave Cannabis out there. Well done. You
dentist.
got scientist.
Oh.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
He said
scientist.
did he?
I was trying to be too specific.
But he said scientist. No, that's how bad I'm reading. It is,
Dentist, he
in
said.
fact, scientist. Spooky bed hair, I'll give it to.
I'll say I didn't know Isaac knew he was a dentist.
Yeah. He's not a dentist, no. He's a
I was trying to say Victor
scientist.
Frankenstein was a physicist. What are you talking about?
No, he was a scientist. Sorry, I read the wrong line.
Got me confused there for a second. Oh, hello.
Yeah, like he says, science.
Science,
yeah.
Flat earthers don't get that.
Oh dear. Question 5. The Y combinator is a lambda expression that allows for this type of process, and memoization can be a faster alternative to it. What is this process? This one's for a specific group of people out there that I don't write questions for very often, but this one's specially for them. The complexity of functions that have this property can be analysed by the master theorem. What is this process? Not something about Hall calculus, no. Divide and conquer algorithms like quicksort rely on this process, the tail variety of which allows for machine optimization. What is this process? It is programming of some type, Tim.
Programming.
I'm after a specific word.
Yeah.
This concept is usually taught to students with the Tower of Hanoi, and it typically features a base case at which the function ceases and returns to the stack. What is it? It is. Alan, you have got it. But you were beaten out there by Dora and followed up closely by Truth Nerds, who got recursion.
Oh, of course.
Is the correct answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Describe this type of computation in which a function calls itself. It is recursion.
Yeah, recursion. Yeah.
Not a
You do
Bowlby's notion.
You do have to be a little bit careful with recursion sometimes.
Yeah, they can get a bit loopy.
Yeah. Recursion.
Recursion sounds painful as well.
Okay.
It does, doesn't it?
Question 6.
The one you usually start off with. Go on.
Yeah. The Watchman
No, this is going to talk about recursion.
The Watchman detector will monitor illicit nuclear enrichment by detecting these particles using gadolinium-doped water. What particles? Not gamma rays, no.
Oh, that's how they found the Hulk in the Avengers.
Detection of this particle relies on observing Cherenkov radiation produced from its interaction with water, and gadolinium amplifies the light by capturing the free neutron created from the inverse beta decay between this particle and a proton. What is the particle? That's the one, Alan. Not neutrons, not antineutrinos. It's unclear whether these fermions are their own antiparticles or not. It is also unclear if a sterile variety of this particle exists in addition to their tau, muon, and electron varieties. What is the particle?
Surely not.
Not
I reckon I'm wrong. Anyway, let's put it anyway.
That's the
Put it
one.
anyway.
That's the one. That's
It
the
is?
one, Matt.
Oh.
You got it?
Okay.
No, that's not the one, Timbo. You
Good,
didn't get it
because that
right,
didn't make
Timbo.
sense.
It's not photons.
I
And
cheated.
now
I
they've
cheated.
got
I
it out
googled.
there. Clive Wells and Truth Nerds got it right. Neutrinos is the one. Well
Neutrinos.
done.
I got to
Matt.
confess, I googled, did a bit of research. I
Well,
cheated.
you got it. Name is nearly massless particles. They are the neutrinos. Yes, they're trying to use them as detectors for nuclear fission reactors because they pass it through the entire Earth. So you don't need to have line of sight. All you need to do is know the location of the reactor that you're looking at. Just point your detector at it through the Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I remember, Paul, you talking to somebody about neutrinos some time ago on Discord.
possibly.
I think.
Yeah.
I think that's
I mean,
probably where
they've got images. They've got images of the sun taken through the Earth.
Yeah, I think that could have been it. I don't know.
Neutrinos, yeah.
Might not have been you. Might have been somebody else. But I don't know.
Question 7. Some bubble chambers are filled with hydrogen that unusually has a higher temperature than this value suggests is possible.
Higher temperature.
What is this value?
This is a guess.
No, that's what it would be measured in, Timbo, but that's not the actual value.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean.
Negative azeotropes are those with a higher value for this quantity than either of the constituent compounds. What is this quantity?
Tropes.
It's not the triple point. It's not absolute zero.
Is it chocolate-covered digestive biscuits?
No, it's not. But they sound good.
They do sound good, don't they? Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Spooky. Do you know what I haven't got in this house?
Chocolate-covered digestive biscuits.
Correct. Bastard.
According to Troughton's rule, the ratio of the change in enthalpy to this quantity is a constant related to the ideal gas constant. What is this quantity?
No idea.
Not the partial vapor pressure? No. The value of this quantity at different pressures can be calculated using the Clausius-Clapeyron equation.
I think you've stumped the peanuts.
No, I think someone will get it from that clue, probably.
Someone will get it. Where's Clive? Yeah, Clive.
Wake up, Clive.
Come on, last one. This is the temperature at which the vapor pressure of a liquid is equal to its surroundings. What is this temperature known as? Oh, maybe I have got... Oh, no, yeah. It went off. Of course it did. And you're right, Matt.
No.
It is the
Really?
boiling point.
Flipping
It's
hell.
got it out in the peanuts as well. It is indeed the boiling point. Name this temperature at which a substance changes from a liquid to a gas.
To gas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is the boiling point. Yay.
Wow.
All right.
Oh.
Question
I thought
8.
there's no way that's right, but it was.
You didn't know I could make the boiling point so complicated.
No.
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 Question 8. This is the last numerical digit of Graham's number, and it is the lowest number of dimensions of a known exotic sphere. What number is this?
42.
Who knows the last digit of Graham's number?
It's always 42, of course.
Who's this Graham of which you speak? I don't know.
I'm going to make a guess. It's got to be something from 1 to 1,000.
While a plane can be coloured with 4 colours, this is the smallest number needed to colour a torus.
4. They're putting 4 out there.
It's not 4.
God, there was a time when that was so bloody dangerous to do that.
It's not 4. The cross product in this many dimensions does not satisfy the Jacobi identity, and the cross product is only defined in 3 and this many dimensions. What's the number? It's not 1. It's not 5. Come on. Process of elimination here. Can only be one number.
No, but it's not what I said, is it, Paul?
Oh, what did you say? No, it's not.
Oh,
that.
well back. I guess.
Alan's going 4, 5, 6, but he's still not right.
That's why it's elimination.
There are this many Millennium Prize problems.
Truth Nerds is doing the same thing out of the chat. People.
You finally got it right, Alan. But Spooky Bed Hair and Truth Nerds beat you with 7.
I went through every number.
Paul, I had 7.
In increase, I didn't see it. Sorry. In increasing number of prize problem, increasing number of sides, this is the first polygon that cannot be constructed with compass and straight edge. There you go. This number is the most frequent sum if 2 6-sided dice are rolled. 7, yeah. Number of sides in a pentagon. In a heptagon, sorry. 7.
Spook got one right for a change.
Yeah. I had 7 a while back, but I guessed, so I'm not worried.
Spook actually got one right earlier on as well, I think.
Yeah, he did. I'm sure.
He did. He did, yeah. Yeah, that's your second one, right?
Okay, question 9. Following one of these events, the Casapia Children's Education Centre was established. What event?
Casapia Children's. That sounds familiar. Casapia.
Trajan and Hadrian experienced one of these events in Antioch and suffered minor injuries. What did they experience? That would be right. Who said that? Alan. That's right, Alan. Not a volcanic eruption or a solar eclipse, no. After one of these events, a city rallied around the phrase, bury the dead and heal the living.
Oh, it's not what I thought then.
It's not a light strike.
Lightning
Father's boys got it right.
Obviously not.
Matt, it's not child abuse. And Carl Edwards got it right out there first, followed closely by Dave Cannabis and Truth Nerds with Earthquake. Yeah.
Earthquake.
The aftermath of one of these events in 1923 saw the massacre of ethnic Koreans. That one of these events on the Kanto plain of Japan was exacerbated by the ensuing tsunami, a common consequence of these events. Yeah. Named this type of natural disaster that has often affected San Francisco due to the activity of the San Andreas Fault. It is an earthquake. Yay. And your last question. This figure is shown next to a white handprint and under the title number in Jasper John's Figure 7 and Andy Warhol's 30 Are Better Than One contains 30 black and white reproductions of this image. What image is it?
I'm sounding familiar.
Not soup cans, no.
Okay.
Was famous for that. This
others.
one's not a soup can, no. A small bridge over a winding river can be seen in the background of a painting of this figure.
Oh.
What is it?
Sounding familiar.
That's the one, Terry.
Oh,
Well done.
nice. Nice, Terry.
Have a guess, but I'll wait till next one.
In a collaboration with Philip Halsman, Salvador Dali superimposed his moustache onto this person, a work likely inspired by Marcel Duchamp's parody, LHOOO. Elhoo. That's the one, Big Blue.
I can't think of it.
No, I can't either.
Not the Screaming Man, not a duck. No. This member of the Giocondo family can be seen resting her hands in an armchair in a 1503 portrait. Who is it? Timbo's got it right. Alan's got it right.
No, I'm none the wiser.
Describe this woman who smiles enigmatically.
No,
in
no
Da
way.
Vinci
Really?
Portrait.
There you go.
Yeah.
Really? Oh,
You
Yeah.
know now, don't you?
yeah, of course. And arithmetic smile, of course.
I want to know how I beat everyone.
And
Don't know,
Spooky
nice
Ben
one, Terry.
here finally got it.
I got it.
It
I
is,
got the Dali one, but I think someone else beat me before then.
it is the Mona Lisa.
Lisa.
Of course.
Oh dear. And there you go. That was your quiz for tonight.
And I got the last
Well,
one
thank you
right.
very much.
Yeah.
Thanks, Paul. That was
I'm
good.
glad
That was
I
good
got
fun.
one right.
Good one.
You did, and you were the first one to get that one,
Yeah.
Terry.
Yeah, I don't know
That
how.
was fun.
Hey, it doesn't matter how.
Oh, there was there was a couple of clues there that I was leading up to it, and I thought, yeah, I reckon it's that.
Well, you got it right.
Yeah.
Well, I got 3 out of 10, and that's, I think, I've equalled my record. I would have got 4 if Farmer's Boy hadn't got fucking Queen earlier on Bohemian Rhapsody.
I'm quite
Let's
happy
go.
with Bo Rap. Thank you very much.
I would have got it with the next clue easily. Like, damn you. Would have been 4. I would have beaten my record. No, that was fun. Thanks, Paul.
That was a good one. No, I'm just happy with Bo Rap.
Yeah, that was a good one, mate. Well done.
And I was just making sure I spelt it right.
Yeah, I would have done the same.
I just didn't think Paul would be that obvious.
Oh, Spook says,
Well,
please
come on,
send my
start typing
winning Terry.
soon.
Okay, Spook.
Well, come on. What was it the other week that one of the answers was actually Fleetwood Mac?
That's right. Yeah,
You threw that one in as a curly one. That one.
After you gave Fleetwood Mac as a wrong answer about 3 questions before, I think, if I remember rightly. No, that was a good one straight off the first
a good one.
clue. That was really good.
Was Mona Lisa Whistler's mother? Who's Whistlers? Who's Whistler's mother?
Whistler's mother. That's another famous painting. Whistler's
Oh,
mother.
okay.
Very famous.
Oh, hello, Alan. Looking good.
Same as American
Alan's
Gothic.
been
They're
here the
very
whole
similar.
time.
I know he has, but he's just put his camera on.
Oh, okay.
Oh yes,
Back on.
American Gothic's a very famous painting, isn't it? The
Yeah.
farming couple.
Yeah.
Standing there with a pitchfork and what have you. When's it out? Oh, it's a new series of Hellraiser coming out October the 7th.
That's right. Grant Wood. There's actually, I saw a good a picture, which was actually the two models for the American Gothic standing in front of the American Gothic painting. Photograph.
Oh, the originals that they base the painting on. I think I've seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. Who was it? Grant Wood from memory? I think American Gothic. What else do you do?
Possibly. Yes, yeah, it was Grant Wood.
I think just checking it out. Yes, it was his sister, and it wasn't. The family dentist. So I just looked that up because I couldn't remember the relationship. They weren't married.
Yeah, I've got a reproduction of a Dali on the lounge wall. Metamorphosis of Narcissus.
Not my favourite artist, Darley. He's all right.
Yeah, I like a lot of his stuff.
What's this?
My favourite.
This you put over there?
MC Escher is my favourite.
Oh, that'll give you headaches.
Matt posted that.
Well, partly because of the subject, and also because he was really precision drafting.
Oh yeah,
So that's why my other favourite is Dürer. I don't know if you know Dürer.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, he's highly detailed.
No, this was in relation to Paul's thought experiment.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
When you actually when you mix the three colours.
Oh yeah. There you go.
That's what you get.
That's the colours you get.
I was going to say white.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, well, obviously, if you because that's what white is. It's all the colours.
I mean, that's basically how TVs work, right? They've got the same pixels of red, green, and blue.
That's right. Yeah. RGB.
Or SYMK.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what does the letters in SYMK stand for?
Oh God.
Yellow, magenta, white, and what was it? Yellow. Oh God, cyan.
What's the K stand for?
That's white.
Black.
Blank, white. Yeah.
I just got to check.
Oh, sorry, black. Is it black? Is it black? Sorry, it's K. Black.
It's actually black, but why is it K for black?
Oh, God knows. Why can't they say B?
Because otherwise we confuse it with B for blue.
No, I'm pretty sure it's. I'm pretty sure K stands for key. K stands for key, and the key is black.
Yeah, CMYK, cyan, magenta, yellow, and K for black.
K for key, and the key is black.
What key?
Well, that's what the K stands for. Key.
Yeah, but what does key mean in this context then?
Well, black. They use black for the key. I'm just saying that's what the K stands for. It doesn't.
Yeah, but so what's the key?
It stands for key.
I know key is black, but what's the key?
Oh, what is a key?
Yeah.
It's like the background or the non-color. So key is black.
Well, thank God over here we do things slightly differently, particularly when it comes to putting ink in your plotter.
But yes, it has became black because obviously if you're putting inks together, you don't have a key. So. You do it on white paper, but yeah.
Of course, with ink or paint, of course, you do have the option of using different coloured paper and white paint.
Yeah.
Or white ink. Although, of course, it's a bit of a waste of all that expensive metal that goes into making white pigment. Tungsten?
Could be, yeah.
In weird terminology, in road signs, the colour of the background is called the ground, and the colour of the letters is called the legend.
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 So, if you're you'll have a different legend for different meanings. So that's why they're very set colours.
Yes, we use an awful lot of white for the legend on UK road signs.
You would do, yeah, because most things are. So green would be indicating your freeways, your highways, or usually brown usually is for historic things. Blue is for attractions like hotels, tourist attractions, things like that.
In the UK, it's
Yellow is for your water. Is it?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
blue
thought
for
it was
motorways.
international.
Blue's
Okay.
motorways.
Blue is motorways, yeah.
Green is trunk routes.
Okay.
Green trunk routes, that's right.
Trunk
yeah.
routes.
So,
Yeah.
sorry, Peanuts, I was in the kitchen.
White with a black legend is local routes.
Yep.
Black with a white, brown with a white legend is
Attractions.
historical and
Yeah.
other
Yeah,
tourist
historical.
attractions.
Yeah.
Okay, so use it for all tourist attractions, or just
Yes.
is it here? Brown is just historical attractions.
No, it's all attractions and brown here
Yeah.
in the UK. Yeah.
Yeah.
Slightly different. No, it's not
And,
much different.
White, a white background, black legend with a red border is military establishments.
Yep. Lots
Oh,
of them
okay.
around here.
Don't have that one in our standard.
Because quite often the actual sign won't tell you what it is, but you know straight away from looking at it that it's military because of the colours. But
Yeah.
sometimes they don't. You know,
Mm.
sometimes they're a little bit subtle and don't go secret base this way. You know.
Yeah, so if you see that, don't go there. Don't go there.
I really got confused by seeing RSAF Enfield coming around the North Circular, I think it was.
RSAF.
F. Yeah. Just trying to think.
Royal
What's
Small
that?
Arms Factory.
That's it. Enfield.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I
No, because
wouldn't have got that unless you told me.
no, the
Yeah,
Australian
it took
standards.
me a while to work it out. I'm looking at it thinking, because I didn't think of that as a military establishment.
No,
Of
well,
course it is.
it's just that it's, I suppose it manufactures.
Well, round
military
this way, outside
weapons.
places like just down the road at Bicester, there are, they're like supply dumps, for want of a better term.
Yeah.
Now they're a military establishment, and I can't remember what they're called, but it generally starts off with a D. But if you look at it, if you didn't know it was a military establishment, you haven't had the faintest idea what it actually was, because it doesn't say. But it's a code, and I can't remember what the letter combination is, but that's basically telling you it's a depot, it's a store.
There's one at Croydon that I once come across. Turns out that it's a pre-positioned American mobile surgical hospital.
Oh.
Yeah, can't believe it. But you've also got the things like the fuel dumps and the fuel stores that they have scattered around the country, with the pipeline that links all of them. It links all the military airfields and all the civilian airfields, and they're all linked together. As a big national pipeline that links all these places together, so that in times of war they've still got a fuel supply.
Yeah, I mean, one of the ones that I went to was a place that was actually known as RAF Chilmark.
Right. Not
and I was there as part of the guard force on a tactical evaluation exercise, and they had a really good NBC shelter. The only problem was what you had to sit on while you were in the NBC shelter.
Nothing.
£1,000 bombs.
Oh yeah, they make comfy seats. Yeah.
It
was pounders.
It was the main RAF. It was the main RAF bomb dump in a big limestone cave in sort of the middle of, or big chalk cave in the middle of southwest England.
Mm. I did watch a bit of that last night, Sean. I watched a bit of your debate, but
I'm sorry, Sean, I wasn't there. Might have been the wrong time of night.
I think it would have been for you, yeah. But it's leaky, Oh, come on! Why wouldn't you have the humility to at least give this some consideration? Because it's bollocks. As is everything you come up with, Brian. I'm afraid. Yes, yeah. We've looked at your suggestions, and you're talking out your ass. Sorry. And it was supposed to treat them as equally seriously as everything else. Just no. It's just like a little kid playing what if. What if it was this? What if it was that? It's not. What if? Why don't you give it serious consideration? Because you just plucked it out of thin air and it's nonsense. Other than that.
Everett's got 2. Floodeth corrupts his girlfriend.
I've seen that one, but there's a more recent one. There was one that came out, well, this morning my time.
Floodeth Dome examined.
Yeah, I ain't seen that one yet. I was too busy pushing the Hoover around.
Okay, we'll watch that one.
Because my domestic staff yet again didn't turn up.
Wally's got one that goes for 17 minutes. It's level F observer. Adam steps on a rake, smashes face. Meanwhile,
yes, that's a good one.
Yeah, I got that one. And
that's a good one.
Anton's either major advances discoveries, hydrogen fuel, or what? What if we don't have the right physics to explain the FRV mystery?
You say about hydrogen fuel? That sounds like an interesting one.
Okay. Yeah, there's one to do with physics to explain.
Hydrogen's fascinating stuff.
Yes, most of the major motor manufacturers agree with you. They find it fascinating too.
Okay,
well, if anybody solves the problem, they're going to be very, very, very rich.
Okay, there's your lineup.
Of storage and etc.
It's going to be in demand when Lindsay comes up with his hydrogenated water factory. Right?
Yeah, that's true. Hydrogenated water. What about the one that goes with it? What about the oxygenated water?
I thought most water was oxygen.
Oxygenated.
Oxygenated.
Well, not only that, but it's also hydrogenated because reasons.
Or maybe it's hydro-oxygenated water.
Why don't you use H2O instead?
You could do, but that's a bit mainstream, you know.
I mean, I know it's pretty easy to dissolve oxygen in water, but I thought it was a lot harder to do the same with hydrogen.
It is.
Well, the general thrust of it with the whole, using hydrogen to power vehicles, it isn't the actual using hydrogen. It's the production of the damn stuff in the first place. Once you've got it, yes, it's very easy to use, and you do all lots of things with it. And it's so much better than lugging around dirty, great big heavy batteries that you have to keep recharging. It's making the damn stuff. It's getting hold of enough of it in the first place. That's
yeah.
I know the process of at least getting liquid hydrogen. I know is uses up 30% of the energy it puts out to begin with. I think, doesn't it? The whole process.
It's the problem they have with nuclear fusion reactors at the moment. The damn things need more power to run them than they produce. At the moment, I believe.
And of course, if you're just going to use hydrogen gas for cars, you're not going to get very much mileage.
No,
because you need a lot of it. So liquid hydrogen is the next option.
You won't store it as a gas.
Yeah, but then the liquid hydrogen, obviously, you've got the problem with storage and keeping it liquid. Again, which takes a lot of energy anyway, doesn't it?
It's not much more problem than we do driving around vehicles that have got dirty, great big petrol tanks in them.
Yeah, I know, but the problem is it's going to completely have to whole design cars, and they will be bulky because of the thermal protection, surely, wouldn't it?
Well, I mean, Toyota.
Be doing it.
Did Toyota or Honda have a hydrogen fuel cell powered car in production and on sale in the US?
I think it might be Honda, but don't hold me to that. But they're all looking at it, and they are spending untold millions on research into it at the moment because they know the problems with batteries.
It's your cost of producing the hydrogen that is the problem.
Yeah.
That's probably why they're not using it so much at the moment.
They're eventually they're going to have to go away from electric cars running on batteries because the batteries just cause so many problems down so many avenues. To look at the test facilities that you have to have just in case one catches light, or just overheats. Let alone because when these things catch fire, you can't put them out.
Yeah, don't throw water.
Oh, we see.
No, we you actually they had a drench system, and they were basically like 2-inch sprinkler heads. If the battery got too hot, and that was just to dump water on it at a vast rate of knots to stop it getting any hotter to the point where it would combust. and these are in separate little outbuildings, you know, just in case, with fume extract and all the rest of it, just in case it doesn't work and the battery catches fire, because all you can do is let it burn.
Oh, can I, Timbo? Well done. That's just the area where I grew up.
Although it says secret nuclear bunker, and it is a tourist
it's not
attraction,
a secret anymore, then, is it?
Yeah, well, that was the running joke.
Yeah, that's the running joke. It's a tourist attraction now, hence why it's got a brown
should
sign.
be ex-secret.
So
when it was a secret nuclear bunker, there wasn't a sign there pointing the way.
Yeah.
When it was sort of declassified and de whatever and everything else and became a tourist attraction, yes, it gets the brown label, you know.
Yeah, I have heard about that place. I'd like to go and see it, actually.
There are several of them around the country.
Yeah.
Well, but are they open to the public though?
No,
yeah. I mean, you could even you can even come and visit the Royal Air Force Radar Museum at Neatishead, and on a lot of weekends they even open up the old R3 bunker, which is also called by a lot of people a secret nuclear bunker, although it wasn't any more nuclear proof than the R12 building that I worked in.
No.
Which was above ground.
Yeah, as I say, if it all started kicking off, you probably wouldn't be around long if you were stationed there.
Well, the building that I worked in was supposed to be able to withstand a standard Soviet airburst at 1,000 meters.
About 500 kilotons or so.
Yeah, but they've only got to knock out the radar. They don't have to knock out the whole building.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, that would probably take that 60-ton aerial off the roof, but we'd probably still be alive inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like Terry said, it's achieved its aim. It's knocked your radar out, and they're only going to do that because obviously something's coming in.
Yeah,
that they don't want you to see.
Let's face it. You can take most radars out with an RPG.
Yeah, they're not exactly bomb proof, are they?
Well, you know, and don't go shooting holes in the dish. Just take out the turntable that's spinning the aerial round.
Yeah, yeah.
Why can't I shoot holes in the dish?
Well, you can, but it's not really very effective.
Not do much.
It's still going to work.
If you have to put a lot of holes in
it.
Whereas taking out the turntable, especially when the aerial weighs a whole 60 tons, tends to have a more permanent effect.
There you go. There's another sign there for secret bunker. Again, brown sign for tourist attraction.
Tourist attraction.
Now, if it was red and it said secret bunker, that would be a bit ridiculous. With a red border, I mean.
Yes.
Well, secret should be in inverted commas.
Or like you said, ex-secret bunker.
Yeah.
Zebulon, lots of countries developed radar during World War II or before, including the Germans. The British were the first to develop a fully integrated command and control system utilizing radar and everything else.
Yep.
Oh, and ground observers, the good old Royal Observer Corps.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they didn't. The one disadvantage, Alan, is that they didn't stop the bombings.
Yeah.
Well, you know, when you've got more enemy aircraft flying at you than you've got fighters, stopping them becomes problematic.
Yeah. But it did at least maximize the casualties that we could inflict on the formations, at least. Anyway, we could get fighters in the right places, and the anti-aircraft people could be alerted.
Well, it let the general population know that there was a problem, and maybe people could get down into the bunkers.
Yeah.
Its biggest advantage was that we didn't have to operate nearly so many standing combat air patrols.
Yeah, that's right.
We could see a raid developing, launch the aircraft up to intercept them, hopefully.
I think I mentioned before my maths teacher worked at Bexley Park, and to distract him, we would get him talking about it, and so we could get off the lesson basically. But he would talk about when they were developing radar. Well, they had the early radar systems. They would put it down really low and then microwave the seagulls that would sit on the tops of the sand dunes, just for fun.
Yeah, the best bit's when you walk past the radar holding a fluorescent tube that you're going to go and replace in a light fitting. And as you walk past the radar, the tube lights up in your hand.
And you know, the story goes how they first discovered or developed radar.
Alan, you could probably answer
that. Well, it depends on which radar. I mean, I think the first person that was involved with radar was Lorenz in about 1900-ish.
Well, the story I heard said Robert again from my maths teacher was that they were trying to was trying to make a death ray, and then they found that, of course, it didn't heat up the planes, but bounced off it, and then they thought, oh, well, we can use that to find the planes rather than kill them.
Yeah, that was Robert Watson Watt in the UK, because of course that was the problem, that radar was invented multiple times by multiple different people in multiple different countries.
Yeah,
and the War Office had, or the War Office stroke Air Ministry had actually asked them to produce a death ray, which they knew was not, well, actually it wasn't so much a death ray. They were hoping to be able to interfere with the ignition of the aero engines. But again, not enough RF to be able to do that, but enough that they could get. They knew they could get. In fact, the first British radar transmitter was a BBC radio transmitter at Rugby, and Watson Watt had a receiver built in a van that he parked out in the middle of a field, and they flew an RAF Hayford bomber backwards and forwards, and they were able to detect the reflection of the BBC radio signal.
We'll move on. What have we got? Everett.
Everett, yeah, he's a good one.
Have you noticed Everett's just joined the
Discord?
The Discord. Your Discord.
Yeah. I sent him an invite because I've seen him over in Gems.
Oh, we have to have him on sometime if we will. I've invited him on the Shields a few times, but he's not responded. So I don't know whether he's too shy about doing that kind of stuff. Maybe, I don't know. But you never know. He might be.
I invited him to the Discord, so
yeah.
Where's Farmer? He stepped out.
Yeah.
I think he wanted to watch this.
Did he? We'll wait till he comes back then. Anna, did I tell you my dad was a telecoms tech in the REMI? So not too far away from what sort of thing you would have done.
Did you say REMI?
Yeah, REMI. Yeah.
Yeah.
You bend and we fix them, as they say.
Yeah.
He was attached to the 4th Royal Tank Regiment in Berlin for a while. when I was very young, or before I was born, he was attached to one of these Scottish Guards regiments, I believe.
Yeah.
Trying to think. Cyprus, I'm not sure who he is part of in Cyprus. That was before I was born.
What's that traffic sign implying?
I'd turn back if I were you.
Yeah, that's an Australian sign, isn't it? I think, Timo, isn't it? It looks Australian.
That's a joke sign. It's not regulatory.
No. Well, I realised that. No, what I meant was Australian signs are that colour with the black, yellow background, black, isn't it?
That's what our regulatory warning signs look like.
Yeah. That's what I meant. No, I know the sign's a joke, obviously.
Yeah. I actually designed one of them. I had to design one for goannas because they didn't actually have a goanna warning sign. So
I didn't know what a goanna looked like.
No, they just didn't have goanna warning signs in the regulatory standard. So I had to actually design a goanna warning sign for us to use on a job.
So now farmers here, Terry.
Because we've got all the kangaroo,
hello,
kangaroo signs and hi Matt.
Yeah, Terry. Would you press play, please?
Yes, I could do that for you, Matt. No dramas.
Thank you for tuning in and welcome to Coffee with Jesus. I'm Vincent Rose, your host. Thank God for another day.
Funny, Farmer's just got his coffee. He's got hot coffee with Jesus.
You know, we all know that the firmament is the dome that covers the earth.
Absolute 1,000,000% bullshit. Bullshit.
Yep.
Those of us who are in the flat earth nut community, right? We're nuts because we believe the Bible, right? Of course, you know.
You're absolutely right.
I've always said that the sky's blue because there's water up above. But now I have to correct what I'm saying because the sky is not just blue because the water's above. But apparently the sky is natural blue. That's the color of the firmament.
He's cracking.
Class. Come on, sure.
But it is, the earth is a flat plane, just like a table. The earth is round, like a tabletop. And it sits in the middle of a square that actually sits on 4 pillars.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Jeez.
Don't lie to me. You're high.
And up above, there will be a crystallized dome over the table. And that's the way it would be shaped. And this is where we live.
No way!
The story is that a researcher, guy was sent to Antarctica not knowing what he was going to see. And when he got there, he discovered he was put on a mission. And basically when he was put on this mission, he got a chance to actually see the ice, the blue sky up close and examine it himself.
Fuck a duck. Holy shit.
Scientists find evidence of a dome structure over the earth. It's falling now. The structure is very mysterious. But it's, again, they call this rock, it's blue. And it came out of the sky.
This is bullshit!
Yeah.
This is bullshit!
Get the bricks!
It's not opal then.
Who knows what these meteorites are or anything else that's falling?
It's probably frozen
from the sky.
It's a mystery! It's a mystery wrapped in a riddle inside an enigma!
Up above us, there is the sun. The sun goes over our head, and the sun is about 3,000 miles up in the sky, right?
That is ridiculous.
According to scientists, they say it's 92 million miles away.
I came this close to not knowing that.
The sun is not that far away. The sun is only about 3,000 miles in the sky, and the moon is about that same distance.
I beg to differ, sir.
And the sun and the moon go over the earth, and when the sun leaves our area, then it becomes dark. When the sun comes back, it becomes daylight.
90% of the time, I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about.
If you're a truther, new people will not be directed to your channel. But every now and then, some people slip through and they get on what you call the crazy side of YouTube.
That's the first real smart thing you said all day.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
It's enough,
Quick,
isn't it?
only quick.
Yeah.
Doop, 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 doop.
He had to say something smart on the end of it. Yeah, crazy.
Sun doesn't go down; it just goes away.
That's right. It just
On
goes
you.
away.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
and
turns
the
off.
light doesn't reach you anymore by some magical, mysterious means.
Oh, and it's perspective.
Oh, of course, perspective. Yeah.
Yes.
Perspective
Yes.
blocks light getting to you somehow.
Yes.
The
Apparently.
special perspective.
Oh, Wally.
Light.
I like that.
Light only travels so far and then stops.
Where's
Yeah.
Wally?
All
No,
of
it
a
gets
sudden.
tired. Bless it.
Yeah, the photons just like give up and just go. Blah, stop.
So at night
this
time we
line
see the
right
back
here.
of the sun.
Oh yeah, the back of the sun. Yeah.
That's a Lindsay.
Thought that's where the black hole was.
Black hole.
Oh no, he changed that, didn't he?
There's a joke about Zimbabwe. They wanted to launch a probe to the sun, and somebody said, "No, you can't do that because it will melt." And he said, "But we are going to go at night."
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
That's the best time to
Sounds
go.
plausible.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah. It's not so hot then.
You gonna unmute, Terry? Unmute this one.
Oh, hey, yeah, that might be not. What am I doing?
Yeah, unmute, and then could you do us a favour?
Yes, Matt. Anytime.
Yeah, press play for us.
Okay, I can do that for you.
G'day everybody, where's Wally here? Well, dear old Adam, he's taken aim at the DART mission. Well, we know that the DART mission was everything we hoped and knew it would be. Now, Scott Manley's wrap-up of the whole climax of the mission is excellent as always. Thank you, Scott. You rock. Now, Adam, who is really a bit of a fanboy, fell over himself in the rush to debunk this mission. That speaks volumes about how threatened
Wally's
Adam
out
and
the
his little
peanuts
cult
gone.
feel
Press
when
play.
they see this sort of pure science happening in reality.
Well, come in
right
here and
their
say it
face.
next time, Wally.
However,
Synchronicity.
Adam produced nothing more than personal incredulity on steroids, misunderstandings galore, and a failure to research just as Adam always does, or doesn't do. Well, you know what I mean. Frankly, his video, it was a big pile of...
Dinosaur poop.
That is one big pile of shit.
The sheer amount of derp that he produced is mind-numbing and glorious to watch. The fact is that the rakes to the face Adam endured are innumerable. So let's count them, shall we? Yeah, let's have a look.
Yeah, it's pretty. I've seen his video.
So let
It's
me
pretty
set the
painful.
scene. We're on board NASA's DART probe as it does 14,000 miles an hour through a vacuum on a kamikaze mission hurtling towards an asteroid. We
Exactly.
join the action when they're 668 miles away from impact, like I say, doing 14,000 miles an hour. We're going to look at a short clip, and again I'm going to highlight the obvious problems. And I'll start with, at a distance, the asteroid or asteroids look like computer graphics.
Fail number one. Looks like computer graphics, but actually no evidence that they are. Just your gut feeling, hey Adam? And we know we can trust that, hey? Any idea how to prove that they are computer graphics?
I don't entirely know exactly what's going on. When the so-called probe gets really close to the asteroid, we get a couple of very clever
More
little
rapes
cuts.
and sideshow Bob.
And the asteroid,
Yeah.
which is CGI, then has rocks superimposed onto the face of it.
Rocks superimposed? Again, that is just your gut feeling, isn't it, Adam? And absolutely no evidence of that, hey?
Absolutely ridiculous. This is supposedly about science, about Earth's defense against asteroids. But as we're about to see, this is nothing more than a charade.
Your personal incredulity knows no limits, does it, Adam? And I'm personally incredulous that a grown man like you can have so much personal incredulity.
I've got very basic understanding, so you might have to bear with me. So let's join the action. 668 miles out, doing 14,000 miles an hour.
I think the team is standing, just recognizing this moment, years in the making. It is really nice to see them relax a little bit, get off from those computers that they've been glued to, and just appreciate this moment that's coming.
Yeah, and they've earned this. It's just great to see them there.
They have indeed earned this moment, and yet I feel Adam, dear boy, is about to take issue with someone else getting off their butts and actually doing some real science.
Absolutely ridiculous, and as you can see, the asteroids on our screen look nothing more than old school computer graphics. Why? Because that's exactly what they are.
Again, Adam, it would be nice if you could actually prove a claim you make. It must be fantastic to have gullible minions that just believe any old bit of tosh you toss at them.
Now we're going to forward the action a little bit here to near impact. We'll come to about here.
Oh my goodness, look at that.
Looks like control system settling down, angular rates look really good. I think we're going to get the investigation team some good pictures.
Wow. No, come on, we can do better than that.
You're right, you can do better than that. This is terrible.
She's talking about clapping, you doofus.
I don't entirely know exactly what's going on. This is supposed to be about science, where you're travelling at 14,000 miles an hour in a probe, or this camera's on a probe that's doing 14,000 miles an hour, that's going to smash, supposedly, into an asteroid, all in the name of science, to see if it can displace or dislodge or have any effect upon this asteroid as part of so-called globe Earth's defence for future against asteroids. But the silly thing is here, if this was really about science...
It's very much about science. Now, I'm getting the feeling that Adam is about to make a complete fool of himself yet again. Go on, Adam, proclaim away.
You would have used two probes. One, the kamikaze one, and another to film this from the side profile, where you see all the action taking place, and you don't lose your data because your probe's so-called smashed into an asteroid.
Well, he did it. What a goose is Adam. The last thing that he said first, let's do that. The kamikaze probe. Well, in case you missed it, it is transmitting pictures as it snaps them, one at a time. So it'll be perfectly fine, well, right up until the moment of impact, and after that, yeah, she's not so much. And then there was that first statement. 2 probes to film the action? What a good idea, Adam. So good, in fact, I think NASA actually thought of it. And you would have known this if you'd done the slightest bit of research and looked into it even the tiniest bit.
And of course, if there was any movement in the asteroid, because of the probe, it would be filmed side on and captured in a scientific manner by the other probe.
So you're saying if NASA had images captured from a second probe, you would consider that scientific? Well, great, Adam. Just have a look at this little bit from Scott Manley, a guy who knows what he's talking about.
Now, as for the view from the impact site, obviously we couldn't get anything from the parent spacecraft because it crashed into the asteroid and stopped transmitting, but it did carry along a little sidekick called Lichia Cube that was going to do some drive-by shooting off the impact, and the images just got released about 20 minutes ago, and I fully expect more science to be done with these images. But on the bottom, on the left, that's the main asteroid. On the top right, that's the moon. And you see very quickly the moon, as it's hit, outshines its parent body. And then the debris cloud starts to expand. And what I'm seeing here is this is not a simple linear expansion, right? So these lines are not straight. There's dynamics inside, that ejector process here. And I think that just basically shows that this is not a simple body, right? This isn't a spherical cow, as we say. Right? When this probe hit the surface and just piled into the object and released all this energy, you're going to get jets of material coming out. And as the material redistributes because of that energy, those jets are going to change direction. And that's my theory as to why we see these structures here. I really want to see more and find out more. Of course, the Hera mission will go and see the aftermath as well.
But as we're about to see, we don't get any of that, which in itself highlights the absurdity of this, because this is going to supposedly smash into the asteroid at 14,000 miles an hour.
Whoopsies. Seems like you're well wrong again, Adam. As we just saw, we did see the big kablooey from the companion spacecraft. You do understand just how wrong you have been here, Adam, don't you?
I don't entirely know exactly what's going on. You're not going to get any data regarding whether or not this asteroid moved. Not that this is real anyway, but I'm just taking it, just believing them for a second and still highlighting the absurdity.
You know where else you're wrong, Adam? The data. The data on how well this test works doesn't come from the image from DART at all. Have a listen to a person who does actually know what he's talking about and what he has to say on the test data.
So anyway, hours after the images started to come down from telescopes all over the world, watching the expanding cloud of dust and debris that had been kicked up by this. Remember, this is a science experiment, and if the difference between science and messing around by blowing up asteroids is writing it down. But it will actually take several weeks to actually get enough orbits in, because how we're going to measure the effectiveness is by how much the period of the orbit changes. We've got a 12-hour orbit that we need to slowly watch the orbit come out of phase with its previous motion, and then we'll know just how much the velocity of the asteroid changed. And over the next few days and weeks, we can also expect more results from telescopes. We have this James Webb Space Telescope was watching, and we do have these raw images right now. I expect we will get these cleaned up and we will get more detail on that debris cloud.
I don't entirely know exactly what's going on. There's a delay in communications as well. So by the time this thing smashed into the asteroid, with the delay, you're not going to get any data back. You're certainly, because the craft is smashed to pieces, not going to know or have any ideas about if this made any difference to the asteroid, moved it in any shape or form whatsoever. Which again highlights the absurdity of this. And like I've said previously, these NASA engineers, these people who work at NASA, are grown adults whose minds never, ever, ever return from Disney World.
Seems these grown adults know a hell of a lot more about orbital mechanics than you do, Adam, old boy. How do you feel now? Every gotcha you have mentioned thus far has been done, and then some. Let's listen to Scott once more explain the science of it while Adam's brain goes kablooey, a bit like Diddy Moon.
So this image sequence is from the Atlas project. That's the Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System. And that's a series of telescopes around the world which are looking for small, fast-moving asteroids near the Earth. This particular telescope was in South Africa. They have telescopes in Hawaii, but Hawaii, it was daytime, so they couldn't make observations. Anyway, what you're seeing is the asteroid being tracked by the telescope is fixed in the middle. The stars in the background are moving by. Those are nothing to do with it. But the object, it's brighter afterwards than it is before because there's probably a cloud of debris nearby. The cloud that expands off, you'll notice expands in one direction because the impact happened on the side. And it forms a shell because the event is short. So the stuff gets thrown off at high speed and then the source of the stuff gets cut off. So you form this sort of wave that goes away and then it dissipates. And this is seen by other observers. This is from the South African Astronomical Observatory, I believe. Again, in this case, they're letting the asteroid move through the field of view, but you still see the increase in brightness and the formation of this cloud headed in front of the asteroid's apparent motion. And again, it's important to remember that the object that we are seeing in these images of the asteroid is mainly the parent body. The moon is much, much smaller and only contributes a very small amount to the brightness, but both of those are outshone by the brightness of this big cloud. And that huge cloud is key to what the DART mission is about. DART is supposed to demonstrate the ability to divert an asteroid. And that stuff blowing off is almost like a rocket plume. It enhances the momentum transfer from that parent spacecraft. And when modeling these kinetic impactors, you have a factor called beta, which says if you have a beta of 2, you multiply the momentum transfer by 2. So it gets you better momentum transfer. Now, there's a lot of questions as to what this might be. It's a very complex process, and there's a lot of unknowns. This is the best way for us to actually get an idea on what it might be. At the B612 event, the founders, Ed Liu and Rusty Schweikert, declared a public wager as to what they believed the numbers would be, betting a dinner. Ed thought the numbers would be higher, Rusty thought they would be lower. I'm really fascinated to find out what they will be.
Thanks, Scott. That was an easy to understand summary of the wash-up. Adam, you do comprehend what Scott just said, don't you?
I've got very basic understanding, so you might have to bear with me.
Starting to see those individual boulders there. You can see shadows of the various rocks on the surface.
Impact. It's amazing, guys. Oh my goodness, look at that. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is unbelievable. Absolute tosh. Computer graphic.
Oh, shut up, Adam. You've got nothing. I'm going to hit fast forward on you for just a little bit.
Looks to me like we're headed straight in.
14,000 miles an hour.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Imagine how good this would have looked from a side profile, seeing this, capturing all this in all its glory.
Side profile.
We're about to see.
Imagine Adam's embarrassment when he learns that they did record the event from side on.
Yeah.
7, 6,
wow.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And there's your rocks superimposed onto the CGI asteroid. And that gets
Why would they
these
have to
naive
superimpose them on
individuals, these
CGI when
NASA
you
test
just do
engineers,
CGI?
these supposedly
Well,
intelligent
exactly.
individuals who, like I said, left their minds and brains at Disneyland when they were kids.
Blah, blah,
There's
blah,
no
blah, blah, blah,
discernment,
blah.
just gullibility and the minds of fantasists that
Go on,
rely on
Alan, do
data
it. Blah,
to
blah, blah,
fulfill
blah.
their fantasies.
Blah, 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 blah.
That's the one.
Oh, wow.
Awaiting visual confirmation.
All right. We got it?
No offence, lads. I could do better myself on a free app on my phone.
Go on then.
Like
Go
I
on
said,
then.
if this was real,
Go on
we'd
then.
film this with another
Cheers.
probe from the side
Go on.
on, which would have been much more scientific.
So, Adam, now that you know it was filmed from side on, will you now admit that it was much more scientific than you can understand? Yes?
I don't entirely know exactly what's going on. Far superior to this footage, and of course meant you would have actually got some data, because there's no way with a delay, if this was real, that you'd get any data back about what difference this probe meant hitting this asteroid anyway, even if this was real. None.
Waiting. Got it? Waiting.
And we have impact.
And that's the confirmation of impact. Billions of dollars, and this is the confirmation of impact. This is what drives people wild in the control room of NASA. And this is how easy it is to fool gullible individuals. Like I said, if this was real, you would have had 2 probes, one film from the side of this, which would have been the scientific one, while this one would have been the kamikaze one. They didn't do that because it's not about science. It's a charade to fool naive individuals in the NASA control room, and even more gullible, naive individuals that actually watch and believe this tosh. Dear, oh dear.
Well, what a dirtfest that was. I know most of you are banned by Adam by now, but if there is anyone out there who is not and feels like poking him just a little bit, well, let him know Wally has peer-reviewed him and found him to be a massive fail. He will, of course, delete and block any comments that present actual science to him. This is the way of the echo chamber. Thanks, guys. I hope you enjoyed this old-school Adam Failfest debunk.
So what Adam's expecting is somehow some sort of magical camera that's hovering around the asteroid, filming dart hitting the asteroid.
Yeah.
That's really what he's expected.
In full glorious 8K, of course, at,
full
120, at 120 frames a second.
Well, yeah, I mean, but yeah, exactly. But the thing is that with Adam, and he does this all the time, and Wally will back me up on this, the higher the resolution, the higher the quality of the video, the more chance he's going to say it's CGI. Every single time. And the lower the quality, it's ridiculous tosh and it's models.
Yeah.
So the only thing that's going to satisfy him in between, it's going to be, you think it'd be somewhere in between, but then again, it's still tosh and twaddle, as he calls it.
Like I said, more rakes than Sideshow Bob.
Exactly.
Yep.
So he's never going to accept it ever. It doesn't matter what you give him, because of course it spoils his narrative.
We'll go a bit of Anton now. Major advances in discoveries in hydrogen fuel production.
Cool.
Yeah, this would be interesting. So yeah, on that note, can you press play, please, Terry?
Yep. I'll get on it right away.
Yeah.
There's quite a lot of talk about renewable technology for one reason or another, with lots of different studies looking for new ideas or new ways to generate energy without really using any fossil fuels. And though we've discussed some of them in some of the videos you can find in the description, today we're going to be talking about one of the more promising ones, the concept of using hydrogen fuel, something that at least in theory can actually be used in aviation, is already used in a lot of cars but can actually be used in all of the cars, and at least in theory can completely replace our reliance on fossil fuels, assuming we can find a way to effectively produce lots and lots of hydrogen using some of the modern techniques. And in this video I actually wanted to focus on some of the new advances, and actually some really exciting advances, that are slowly taking us a step closer to using hydrogen as one of the main sources of energy. The fuel that in theory could be carbon free, but not yet, and that's because of the way that hydrogen is currently produced. The vast majority of hydrogen we have right now, and here we're talking about the one that's used for industrial reasons, is produced through the technique known as steam reforming, which actually requires methane gas, which is quite a potent greenhouse gas, and is not a particularly environmentally friendly technique. About 49% of hydrogen is produced this way, with 29% being produced through the use of oil, and 17% through the use of coal. But only 4% is produced without the use of any fossil fuels, usually using the process known as electrolysis. And that's a very simple reaction where if you pass electricity through water, it ends up creating hydrogen and oxygen. And that's the ultimate reaction that you want to have in order to create hydrogen that's basically clean. But most of the hydrogen, including the one used in cars, is usually what's known as gray hydrogen. It's a byproduct of various industrial processes, with so-called blue hydrogen usually produced in a way where it also releases carbon dioxide. But the main goal of modern studies is green hydrogen, finding a way to generate a lot of hydrogen on the cheap, and usually by involving some really incredible techniques, but normally still using that electrolysis process that seems to be very effective and seems to produce nothing else except for hydrogen and oxygen. And the simplicity of this electrolysis reaction is exactly why hydrogen is seen as the perfect fuel. So for example, in a typical hydrogen bus or hydrogen car, all you have to do is introduce oxygen into the car in order to create energy. But unfortunately, even today, the green hydrogen is still pretty expensive to produce. But now, this year, in 2022, we had several studies that might have discovered some really incredible techniques, potentially finding ways to produce a lot of hydrogen on the cheap, and also with the extreme efficiency that was previously unavailable. And the first such study is from where I live, right here in South Korea. The study is as always in the description below. Now, normally one of the main problems in electrolysis is the use of very expensive metals in order to create effective reaction. But in this case, the scientists discovered that by using silk and then using what's known as carbonization, or basically covering the silk in carbon at 950 degrees Celsius, it starts to create very unusual features on the inside, which ends up producing an extremely effective electrolysis surface, able to produce approximately 20 times more hydrogen than the most expensive metal used, platinum. And so by using textiles instead of expensive metals, this will not just decrease the costs, but will also produce a lot more hydrogen using more efficient means. Moreover, this technique was actually able to produce this using relatively high current, which means that if this is industrialized, it can actually reach prices that would be much lower than most of the other fuels produced using other methods. So that's just the first such discovery. This hasn't really been confirmed by other studies yet, but still a pretty exciting discovery. But a lot of modern facilities usually use some kind of a metal and will probably still need to use very similar techniques. They can't just switch over to a completely new device. And that's essentially what this new study is about as well. It actually finds a way to use some of the recycled aluminum and gallium that can be arranged in just the right way to create an extremely efficient reaction that also seems to work at room temperature and even does not require a lot of power to produce all of the bubbles that basically produce hydrogen. But more importantly, unlike other techniques that usually require pure water or basically distilled water, this technique works with any water, even ocean water. But all of this is based on a very specific composition, or actually a very specific arrangement of aluminium nanoparticles inside a matrix of gallium, as you see in this microscope picture. And so even though this particular reaction has been known for a very long time, in this case the researchers actually found a perfect structure and a perfect mix to make this reaction extremely efficient. It's basically using a 3:1 gallium-aluminium composite, which prevents the oxidation of aluminium, which can normally stop the reaction, and ends up producing a lot of hydrogen in normal pressure and normal room conditions. In other words, you just need to have some water and some of this compound to produce the hydrogen. It wouldn't require any kind of a massive facility to make this happen. With only one major issue here: gallium. Aluminium is really easy to get, but gallium can only really be found in certain recycled products and is generally a lot more expensive as well. And so once it becomes easier to source this particular material, this technique can also become extremely efficient at producing a lot of hydrogen. But I think it's that last paper that I wanted to discuss that seems to be the most exciting and seems to be the most promising: producing hydrogen from the air. And moreover, the device that you see right here was able to do all of this by using nothing but the moisture from the air, with the energy itself supplied from the solar panels that you see attached on the top. And in this case, the principle is really simple. There's a lot of moisture in the air, and so by capturing some of this moisture and applying electrolysis to it, in theory it could be possible to produce hydrogen. This is known as direct air electrolysis. And in this case, their device is even able to operate in very low moisture conditions of just 4%, with the sponge-like material, specifically a melamine sponge, absorbing the water from the air and also being a source of electrolytes, with the energy then splitting the water and creating hydrogen and oxygen that can be captured for further use. Now this obviously still requires some energy, but it clearly worked well because they were able to run this for approximately 12 days with 5 separate electrolyzers working in parallel. And so as a Star Wars fan, I can only wait for actual moisture farms to become a reality, because that's exactly what they're doing here. They're capturing moisture using a relatively similar principle, although in this case, the water then produces the gas, which can be stored for further use in cars, vehicles, and airplanes. Oh, and don't forget the rockets. They also use hydrogen and oxygen mixture, making this one of the more exciting discoveries or techniques, with at least one of these discoveries potentially leading to an explosion of various hydrogen-producing plants, slowly leading us away from the fossil fuels toward a slightly more environmentally friendly age. And if we don't find a solution to our fossil fuel problem, well, I guess you can say goodbye to airplane flight. Which I actually thought about one day while flying in the air, and it made me realize that maybe when I have grandkids, they might not even know what an airplane is, because there might be no fossil fuels or alternative fuels able to power them. Which made me sad for 2 reasons. I would like to travel in airplanes even when I'm older, and I guess I also realized that I'm going to get older and have grandkids. Anyway, so it looks like hydrogen fuel is once again one of the most promising fuels that we could possibly replace fossil fuels with. But unfortunately, all of this is still in the prototype stage. Hopefully one of the bigger companies picks this up and turns it into an actual production facility, but for now they definitely haven't. As a matter of fact, the only large facility I know of that produces a lot of hydrogen specifically for the use in various, for example, cars or vehicles, is this one right here in Fukushima, known as Fukushima Hydrogen Energy Research Field. As you can see, it produces quite a lot of hydrogen using solar panels, and all this is entirely green. And because this facility only opened up in 2020, I'm hoping more countries join in and build more of these around the world. So definitely something to maybe copy from Japan right here. And so until future discoveries, or until someone actually does build a Star Wars themed moisture farm that produces hydrogen, that's pretty much all I wanted to mention. You can find more videos on the idea of innovation in the field of energy in the description below. Subscribe, share this with someone who loves learning about space and sciences, come back tomorrow to learn something else, and maybe support this channel on Patreon by joining channel membership or by buying the Wonderful Person t-shirt you can find in the description. Either way, stay wonderful, I'll see you tomorrow, and as always, bye-bye.
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 Moisture farms, yeah.
Oh, you didn't say wonderful person.
No, you said hello, wonderful
did he at the
person
beginning?
at the front.
Oh, at the beginning, oh, yeah.
So just like Star Wars, we'll have moisture farms.
Yeah.
Hmm.
We'll be farming moisture. Huh?
Who's doing a Riley? I can hear somebody doing a Riley. Who is it?
It's not me. It's not me.
It's Paul again.
I'm sitting in front of the computer, so can't blame me this time.
Well, so was Riley.
Well, look, it's not me. Fluid's going in. It's not coming out. Not yet, anyway.
Why is there a naked peanut?
Oh, so there is.
Earth Warrior,
Earth Warrior.
171.
What shape Earth though?
Well, their name's Earth Warrior, and 171. I don't know what that would mean.
Yeah, could be
You
flat Earth.
subbed Earth Warrior. You get a spanner if you do. Yeah, it was the GM that did that boomer back in the 90s. And they scrapped all the cars and recalled them. Didn't last for very long.
They'll get the hang of it.
I'm just making sure that Earth Warrior's gave me a sub, and then they can get a spanner.
Can I shield myself out for a second while you're sorting that out?
No, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Jesus.
I'll take that as a no then.
Do it anyway.
Do it anyway, yeah, I will. I'm doing a live at 5 o'clock, which is in about an hour and a half from now.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll stick a link in the chat.
I'll be in bed by then.
No, I know you guys from down under will be well and truly asleep by then, I'm sure.
What you doing? Anything particular?
Yeah, quick bit of news, but then I'm going to be doing. This is an interesting one. A video of a deathbed confession about the moon landings.
Really?
But
okay.
there's kind of more to the story that meets the eye. So I'm going to do the first bit on this live, but on the shills tonight we're doing more of it, and it's there's kind of like a background story to it, and it's kind of the plot kind of thickens a bit. It's kind of interesting. It's quite fun actually looking into it.
Oh, the plot thickens.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Bit like the gravy.
Yeah, a bit like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my bit live and just sort of like talk about the crap that he actually says in it, because it's so easy. It's ridiculous. And then I'll probably take the bit from the shills and sort of slap it together in the video. Sort of thing.
Oh, sorry, Truth Nerds, I wasn't quick enough. I see you did put something over there, but it says, please do not watch, you can't hear anything. Or something. What did it say? Where was it? Only a
Too
test.
late, Truth Nerds. Too late.
Yeah, only a test, you won't hear me.
Oh, I've deleted that one. Is it still up, is it?
Oh, it's in
I thought I deleted
shit.
it. Oh, yeah.
The link will still be there, but
the link will still be there. But if you click on it, it won't go anywhere.
Yeah, it says video unavailable.
Yeah.
It's been removed.
So I've deleted it. I was just trying a couple of things out.
Well, you can delete it from over there, you know. Wait a minute. You just dropped another one.
Yeah, that's probably the live I've just set up.
Yeah, it just dropped then.
Yeah.
There we go. Live in 90 minutes. Well,
yeah, about right. Yeah.
Simon goes for 14. And I'm half asleep here myself. I want to go to bed. So I'll be
Yeah, well, this
Cyberman and then,
this video that it was posted by Bart Sabrell. I'm sure Bart Sabrell, whatever you. I'm sure most of you heard of him. Yeah. If you haven't,
we'll get Buzz to come over and punch him in the face again.
Yeah, again, yeah. I was just going to say, if nobody knows who he was, then yeah.
Hey, Buzz, that guy over there, he just called you nasty names. Go on.
Do it again. Go on, hit him
do it again. Yeah, you want to.
We'll give him.
I mean, the story that I heard that Bart apparently tried to take him to court, but it didn't even get that far. Apparently, the police didn't even bother charging. They just said, "No, don't be talking nonsense." So
no, they were tired of his too. Yeah.
Crap. Yeah, exactly. I mean, he was harassed for a good 20 minutes. Just would not leave him alone, and then called him a coward and a thief. Hang on a minute, he served his country, wallop.
Yeah.
Idiot. So what I hope to do is I'm going to hope to make the connection of that video to the whole. It's all hoaxed, of course, but whether we can actually prove that it was Bart Sabrell was responsible for it is another question, because this deathbed confession comes from somebody else, and he just happened to post the video. So it'll be interesting in the coming months or weeks or whatever, when more information comes to light as to what the connections are. You'll see if you go on the Shields tonight, you'll see a bit more about it. It'd be kind of good fun, I think. Nice little story to it.
When Shields early hours our morning too again.
Shields are late for me, so they'll be bloody early for you, I bet.
Midnight for us, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, for you it'll be early-ish in the morning, I think. Because Mippet, she joins us as well, so she's the same time zone as you, I think, isn't she?
Well, it's probably our morning then.
Yeah, it'll be your morning. It'll be sort of probably 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning or something like that, maybe.
Oh, I'll be asleep still.
9? Yeah, well, will you?
I've got no reason to get up early in the morning. Plus, daylight savings starts, doesn't it? Is that right, Paul?
When the clock's going back? For
us, ours
at
the end of the month.
End of October.
Yeah.
So we lose an hour or gain an hour?
I think we lose now, Terry.
Yeah, losing now because it goes back, doesn't it?
No, they're gaining an hour.
No, because it's spring. It's spring for you guys in Australia, so it's forward an hour.
Oh, so yeah, it's going the other way for you guys now. Forget about that. You're backwards.
Spring forwards and fall back.
Yeah, well, it's back for us though.
Yeah, it's back for us.
So I can get an extra hour of sleep. Okay.
Yeah. Not until the end of October though, Terry. Don't put your clocks forward yet,
Terry.
You lose an hour.
You'll lose an hour, and your clocks change tonight, I think. Ours we gain an hour, but ours don't go back until the 30th. We've got a month to go yet.
Yes, Terry. If the clock's going forward, you're going to lose an hour, aren't you? Sleep. If you get up at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because if you get up at 7 in the morning, it's now going to be 8 in the morning. You've lost an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll lose an hour. We'll gain an hour. Eventually, and of course,
it's a bloody waste of time.
To be honest, they might as well stop prattling about with them and just say, "Right, this is the time." Yeah, okay. You keep all your zones, but stop prattling about with the clocks. There's no point.
Does it benefit farmers? By the way, Farmers Boy, does it really benefit farmers? No,
no,
it doesn't.
I don't know why they don't just average it out.
Yeah, it really doesn't benefit us anymore. I suppose back in the day when everything was still sort of manual labour, times were pushed, but not anymore. Really, I don't think it'd make any difference at all if they just said, sod it.
Well, Jackie Peterson in Queensland said he didn't want it because it said it'll fade their curtains. So,
oh dear.
The extra hour. They didn't want that. Don't ask me the logic of that one. Not for the cows. John's going not for the cows. Well, you still got to get up for the cows, John.
What's next, Terry?
A bit of the man.
Dan the man.
Oh, Dan the man. Simon the Man, yeah, whatever. That came out wrong.
Flat Earth professor. How can you have a flat Earth professor? That doesn't make sense in one sentence.
Ah, I know who that is. He calls himself a professor because he professes things.
Oh,
therefore, that
why?
makes him a professor.
Different
It's
meaning.
that idiot, yeah.
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 Terry?
Sorry, I'm busy. Can you call back later?
Oh, okay. Can I leave a message?
He's too busy pressing the play button, Matt.
Is he? Oh, yeah. Better get on with it then. Press the play.
Okay, I'll press play. I'll press play while I'm waiting.
Flat Earth Institute of Science. I'm kidding, of course, it's not prestigious. And he has produced many videos on what he calls globe science. We looked at one before regarding the distance to the moon. Who remembers that one?
Alright, now here our light bulb is really close to the sheet. Now we're going to go ahead and move it away from the sheet and look for the difference.
Well, he is back, and today he is adamant that lunar eclipses don't prove the globe. Oh boy.
Shit experiment.
Hello all and welcome along to another episode of Flat Earth Friday with me, Simon Dan. Thank you very much for joining me. Before we begin today, I want to say a massive thank you to the sponsors of today's Flat Earth Friday, Vite Ramen. Now, unfortunately, the good people at Vite Ramen gave me a GIF of their founder, ramen.com/SimonDan, or click the link and use the code SimonDan. Right, back to today's video, which, as I said at the start, is from the Flat Earth Institute of Science founder, Kyle Adams. Now, he wants to poo-poo lunar eclipses as a globe Earth proof.
Not poo-poo.
Here we go.
Many globe earthers love to point out lunar eclipses and act as if they were solid proof that the Earth is a globe. The problem is, they don't prove it's a globe.
Do you know how many flat earthers have said that, Kyle? So many.
Let me show you. Here I have a ball, and I'm going to cast the shadow of this ball onto another ball. Alright? Look carefully at the shape of that shadow.
Kyle, you are using two balls that are roughly the same size. The distance between the two balls is not to scale. How far away is your light source? None of it is to scale, so why would we see here what we usually see during a lunar eclipse if none of it's to scale?
Now here's the shadow of a ball being cast onto a plate.
Could you just pause a second,
please
Terry?
take notice.
Is that a baby's cot in the bottom right-hand corner of?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So I just making sure I wasn't hallucinating earlier when I watched it before.
No, you're not. They've got a kid together. Yeah.
Of how the shadow is different here.
Yes, well done. The curved shadow is cast onto a flat surface, so it looks curved. But that really doesn't prove anything because, again, it's not to scale. In fact, I would postulate that the shadow cast on your basketball was straight because your blocking ball was relatively close to that basketball, and the curved surface of that basketball deformed the shadow.
Here's the shadow on a ball. Shadow on the plate. Now here's a picture of a lunar
dear boy,
eclipse.
Scale.
I don't know about you, but I think this presents a problem for the globe Earth model.
No, in no way does it present a problem for the globe Earth model, because your experiment was not to scale.
What's happening in that case is that the sun is on one side of the Earth. The Earth is in the middle, and it's casting a shadow. The Earth is casting a shadow on the moon. And as the shadow moves across the moon, you'll notice that the shadow is curved, it's round. So something like the sun that's bigger than the Earth and is able to cast a shadow of the Earth on the moon can actually show you the shape of the Earth.
Yeah, that's definitely a problem for the globe Earth model.
Oh, is it, Kyle? Was your light source considerably larger than the blocking object? Was it the correct distance away? No, it wasn't.
Would every now and then cast a shadow on the moon. And when it did, that shadow was always round. Now, the only shape we know of that always casts a round shadow is a ball.
Wow, really, Bill? You had to project a flat image of the moon onto the wall in order to get your round shadow? And, let's not get started on the size of your shadow there.
Get out, Kyle. How can you mock his setup after the state of your presentation?
But what was that you just said?
Now, the only shape we know of that always casts a round shadow is a ball.
The only shape that can cast a shadow that's curved from any direction you put the light is a sphere.
Oh no, not you too! Not today, doctors. Not today.
Well, that doesn't dispute anything either. They said that the only shape that can cast a round shadow is a sphere. To prove them wrong, you would need to find another shape other than a sphere which casts a round shadow.
Please notice how that shadow appeared flat the entire time it moved across the surface of the ball. Now this leaves the question, why do we see so many curved shadows across the face of the moon?
Because the Earth is round and the shadow that is cast by the Earth is also round.
Does this mean the moon is actually flat? I suppose that is one explanation for this. But I don't think it's the shadow of the Earth being cast on the moon here.
Oh, here we go. A revelation coming up here from Kyle.
I think something else is going on. The shadow of the Earth is not the only thing that could cause the moon to turn dark. What if this has to do with some kind of a filter that comes between the Earth and the moon?
A filter? And who in the blue blazers put that up there?
Where'd the filter go?
A little while back, I had the opportunity to interview Cami Nodell, and she taught me some really fascinating facts about the atmosphere that I was totally unaware of before.
Cami Nodell? Any relation?
Yeah. A 15 degree per hour drift.
Thanks, Bob.
She taught me about how the atmosphere acts as a filter and polarizes the light that passes through it.
Things that people don't understand about that happen in reality, things that we should be looking at. The atmosphere polarizes any electric field, polarizes light, any light that's polarized is directionalized, polarized filters crossing, have different effects.
Right, you're telling us exactly.
And you know how I'm always on the hunt for common ground. Here I found some common ground with Colorado State University, wherein they acknowledge the fact that the light from the sun gets polarized as it passes through the atmosphere. And they further claim that bees actually depend on this polarization for navigation.
Okay, fine, but what has this got to do with lunar eclipses?
That is pretty wild and mind-blowing if you ask me.
We don't.
Not really.
No.
Pretty cool, right? Animals are awesome.
No argument from me there.
As I understand it, magnetic fields are generally pretty round. And keep in mind, the moon has its own magnetic field. And magnetic fields can also polarize light. So what would happen if we were to look at this through round filters instead of rectangular ones?
Can you just pause
As I
a second?
understand it.
The shape of your polarizing filter sheet makes absolutely no difference to how it polarizes the light.
No.
I mean, there are, of course, linear polarizers and circular polarizers, but that's different.
Magnetic fields are generally pretty round. And keep in mind, the moon has its own magnetic field. And magnetic fields can also polarize light.
No, it doesn't.
So what would happen if we were to look at this through round filters instead of rectangular ones? Ooh yeah, bada boom bada bing.
What in the name of Jimmy McGill was that?
Ooh yeah, bada boom bada bing.
Bada boom, bada bing, bada bing. The reason that this is a failure is that the moon has very, very little to no magnetic field to speak of.
And you want to know what the most beautiful thing about this hypothesis is? It is easily testable. Just bring out a third filter and see if you can't bring the moon back into view during the next lunar eclipse. All it takes is a piece of tape. This phenomenon is one of the most mind-blowing things about polarized filters. But please know that this is not the only hypothesis of what else could be going on here.
Brilliant, he's got more.
Please keep in mind, refraction can also cause shadows to appear. While I do not currently know the exact cause of lunar eclipses, I know I can say with confidence that they are not caused by the shadow of the Earth.
It's always the same with the flat earthers, every single time. I don't know the reason for this, but it's definitely not a globe.
And I'm not just saying that because the shadow of a ball being cast onto another ball has a straight line. One very important vocabulary word that everyone interested in lunar eclipses should learn is the word selenelian.
Oh my days, it just gets so tiring.
This is kind of an essential term for flat earthers to know. A selenelian is a lunar eclipse that takes place while the sun is visible. And this particular multiple exposure image was featured in the NBC News back in 2014. Though if you want to look up that particular lunar eclipse, the photo was actually taken in December of 2011. Anyway, according to the description here, this photo shows the setting moon just as the sun was about to rise. So the moon is going down in the west, and the sun is coming up behind the observer in the east. And please notice how the moon is being lit up from the bottom up.
You have literally just said that refraction is a potential cause for an eclipse. Well, guess why we get selenelian eclipses? Your old buddy refraction. Atmospheric refraction causes astronomical objects to appear higher in the sky than they are in reality. So during a lunar eclipse, the sun and moon are only visible because of refraction, thereby making the selenelian eclipse possible. Happy?
Now let's try and visualize how the mechanics of this would work in Dr. Thaler's globe Earth model. If we were to put the eclipsing moon in here, where should we put it? Should we put it here? That doesn't seem right. The moon here is setting and should be moving into the shadow, in which case the light here appears to be on the wrong side. How about somewhere down here in the bottom half of the shadow? That looks a little better. The number one explanation I have heard globe earthers provide when trying to explain selenelians is that refraction is causing both the sun and the moon to be visible. That is some pretty extreme refraction if you ask me.
Personal incredulity is not a reason to doubt it, Kyle. It's a massive planet with a massive atmosphere that acts like a giant lens. All I see from you, Kyle, is personal incredulity fueled lessons that try to dispute the globe. Honestly, Kyle, we all love a try, but come on. Flat Earth's dead. It's over. I think we're all pretty tired after this one, so let's call this one a day and say we are all done and dusted for another Flat Earth Friday. Thank you so much for watching. It truly is appreciated. If you enjoyed it today, please do consider hitting that subscribe button. And if the feeling takes you, hit the bell notification as well. Haven't said that in a while. And of course, if you really enjoyed it, hit the like button too. I've been Simon Dan. Have yourselves a great weekend, and I'll see you on Tuesday for another one of those mud flood tours. Can't wait for that one. See you then.
Mud flood.
Oh, why the door's so big?
Terry, naked person in the chat.
No, they're not. I fixed them.
Oh, good.
No, we can't have a naked peanut.
Oh, he's a Queenslander as well. Look.
Yeah, that's even worse. Timber,
but he was
can
born
you
in.
get,
But he was
can
born
you
in
give a crash course in helping the stream, please? I've got no idea what he means by that question.
You're muted, Timbo.
Sure, I use.
Do you mean if I unmute it, you can hear me better?
Yes,
Yeah,
we can hear you.
Yeah, it usually works like that.
I could see your turtle talking, but there was nothing coming out.
Yeah, you can see me talking.
Certainly ridiculous.
Hey, was he frozen? Oh no, he's not frozen. He's just frozen on the peanuts. There he is. It's moving again. I don't think we have that against to was it Ivan? I'm from the ACT, so none of you's like me. Canberra.
No, you had a question out in the peanuts to you, Timbo.
Yeah, I don't know what he means by Phosphorus.
I don't know what he means by it either. Got no idea.
Oh, by the way, I don't run the stream. Terry runs the stream. Anyone who's new, it's Terry Davis's channel.
Yeah, not Timbo's channel.
Not my channel.
John's out there going, "Yo, Queensland."
Tell you, if I contributed a little bit more to the running of the Zoom, could I borrow it once in a blue moon, once in a while?
I don't know how you could.
Well, you just good question actually.
You mean borrow it or just record it?
I don't mind him using it. I just don't know how I can do it. The only way I've only been able to do it is if I'm here to share it through to your.
Can you not? You're not able to set me up as like a manager or something on Zoom? I don't know how it works. You're not able to do that, no?
It's been a while now since we looked at all that. I remember when
we'll look at it another time.
When I was doing it through Alan's channel.
Yeah. The trick is that you can set it up, and of course you can make the other person the host and everything. However, you've got to be there to set it up for them.
Oh, right.
The real problem is you've got to have multiple people in the call all the time with traffic going backwards and forwards.
What do you mean by traffic?
Well, you can't just be on your own.
You can't be on your own, and even if you've got somebody else in there, you have to be doing something. If you just if you just leave it with no audio or video or anything going backwards and forwards between the two, it'll drop that out as well, because it'll notice that it's not being used and terminate the call for bandwidth.
Oh well, that's not a problem. That's what it's going to be used. It'd be sometime in the future, and it'll be every now and again. But like you said, it might be the difficulty of Terry having been there.
That means, like, for example, now I couldn't set it up for you, and then you waited, say, for another couple of hours to use it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So you couldn't. No, that probably wouldn't work then. I know. I think Meets is a bit different, because I think you could set somebody up as a manager, in which case they could open it and close it and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Other than that, you're quite welcome to use it, but just
That's all right. I'll ask Dick Dawson to use the Shields one, hopefully, if they allow me.
I think the difficulty is that to get where you can have the that manager, you have to go to the expensive one.
Oh yeah, there's one.
Oh,
commercial one,
like premium or whatever you call it, the commercial.
Yeah, ultra premium.
Yeah, I think the shields you see, we've got meats, which I think works a bit differently.
And Matt, I wouldn't.
So I might have used it.
And Matt, I wouldn't have charged you for it. You could have just borrowed it for.
Well, I would still contribute anyway. I mean, I would contribute a bit already, but I would have added a bit more. So,
but you would have worked out well for you.
No, that's right.
Well, but what time of the day would you have been doing it compared to me if you were going to be doing it?
I don't know yet. I'm not sure. I'm just thinking about it in the future because I'd like to do sort of regular lives, maybe not weekly necessarily, but eventually I want to get sort of guests on to do different things.
Because if it worked out when I finished mine, say today or tonight for me, and you were setting yours up, we could hang around till yours started, and then I can just leave you with the co-host thing or whatever they call it, and then you can just end the stream and let people in and do what you want.
Well, that's not a bad thought though, is it? That's not a bad idea, is it? I could probably do that, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Because we could just hang around till you're ready to go, and then transfer it over.
Yeah.
But then you'd need. No, you wouldn't need anything. You just use it through your streaming software and everything.
You could just make me host, and I could just end it. Yeah, exactly.
And your streaming software would pick it up if you're the co-host.
Oh yeah. I would just need the links and stuff like that to pick it up on my software. Yeah, it's not a problem.
I don't think I can give any other extras things. Make co-host. Allow to record.
Yeah, just don't look into it now, Terry. Leave it now. I mean, this is not for a while yet, anyway. So.
Yeah, it's only just make
co-host.
Because Farmers has got control of things, haven't you, Farmers? Certain things.
Allegedly.
Can you end the thing? Because you're co-host.
Just trying to see where.
Well, I can make you the host as well.
Yeah,
wait a minute. I'll go to the host. I'll go to the one.
Don't worry about it, Lan. Listen, finish the show anyway.
Just curiosity. There you go. I'll make you the actual host, Farmer.
Oh right.
So does that give you any extras?
I'm just trying to think where that would crop up.
Well, you get anything different along the bottom?
Well, that's just what I'm looking at. I mean, nothing's appeared, so I'm oh, hello.
What can you do to people?
Oh no, I still got sort of control over muting people and bits and bobs, but I don't think. Yeah, because see, I can remove participant, which I could anyway. Suspend participant activities, which I think I could anyway.
Along the bottom where it says participants share screen and record, don't you get in the right-hand corner anything in the corner? In the right-hand corner?
What do you normally get, Terry?
Well, I've got ends, but presumably that's just an end for me, and not an end for my
stream. No, that's end for the whole thing.
Oh, so I've got it then. Yeah.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah, it's leave for your personal one, isn't it?
Yeah. I've got
right.
leave.
So if you can see leave, I can see end.
Yeah,
I've got leave as well. Yeah. So
if I leave now, I can rejoin with the link.
Yes. Although I do have the option, I can lock the meeting, which presumably stops people coming in.
Can you? When do you find that one?
If you look in security, at the top it says lock meeting.
Yeah.
At the top
I think
where?
it says in the help that there's only allowed to be one host, and the host can assign co-hosts.
Yeah. Where did you?
Well, usually Terry's the host and I'm the co-host.
That's the only difference, is that the host can assign a co-host, but a co-host can't assign somebody else.
Correct. But I think both host and co-host can lock the meeting. So if Terry was to leave, I could lock the meeting and that stop him coming back in, I suspect.
Where did you see
I
lock
don't
meeting?
think so, because it's Terry's account.
Okay, no, maybe Terry.
We tried that one before.
I've got to go back to. I've got to read. How do I get me thing back?
There's an alternate host.
Oh yeah, here we go. Reclaim host. There we go. Reclaim host. Puts Farmer back to.
Right, so my security has disappeared.
Right, make you the co-host again. That way I get.
So
back
when you
my
make me the
rules.
co-host, that should.
Right, now where's the security thing written that I should be able to see?
That's interesting.
Yeah, where's...
I don't have the security's not come back.
Oh, where is it
I
for
think
me?
it should
Where
as a
did you
co-host.
find it?
Security. If you click on security and open up the sub menu at the top.
Top of where?
Now I've lost security now. That's strange.
Was it on the screen or?
Mm.
Oh yes, security down the bottom.
Down the security down the bottom. If you click on
I
that,
found it. Yeah. Suspend participant activities. Remove participant. Start, unmute, rename, chat, share, hide profile, enable, and lock meeting. Oh, so I can lock it and not let anyone else in. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Interesting that.
Although I would think that as you always have to let people in, have the security set up so that you always have to let people in anyway. That's kind of a moot point.
Yeah, well, the other thing I want to learn is breakout rooms, where you can have have other people into another room. I don't know, but I think you got to, because when people come in, I think you have a choice of putting them into a different room. When they
you can have it if you want to have a green room, for example.
Yeah.
So you can put them in a waiting room and then bring them in.
Bring them in
when you feel like it. Yeah. Yes. Not so much a breakout room, but a separate what's your room? You can have breakout rooms, but not much use to you.
Yeah.
Do you know, as a host, you can't participate in polls.
I can't participate in a poll.
You can start a poll, but you can't answer a poll.
The other thing we've got too,
here.
which is I haven't learnt how to use yet, is these apps that you can get downloaded for free, and there's questions that you can you can have your own questions and stuff. I got it. One's called Ask Away. I've got that one here. Get to know your team with thousands of fun something. That's one thing I've got set up, but I haven't used it. Not worried about it for now. Okay, well, finishing up then. A little bit early-ish for some tonight.
Well, early's good for me because I've just found I just had the phone call. Dad, can you babysit your grandkids tonight? Be there not too long.
If you bring them over. If you bring them over.
Do you tell them what the current going rate is? Isn't it like $25 an hour or something like that?
I can't really say no.
Per child?
No, that's
it. Well, you could. It's just good. Just go on, say it. No.
No. Yeah.
No.
Do you know, it's strange that as young children, that's one of the first words we learn to speak.
Rosie doesn't watch.
And then we have so much trouble using it later in life. You know,
Rosie doesn't watch this, does she, Alan?
No.
Oh, okay.
There you go. No, you said it then. Keep saying that, it'll be right.
No,
Practice saying no.
But of course, she does like to be really loud and annoying if she turns up while I'm in the middle of the stream.
Yeah.
She was really cross on Wednesday that I had the microphone muted when she got here.
But she wanted to make an entrance.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Well, hello. Are you talking to
retards?
At that occasion, I was talking to Travis.
Oh, that is serious. Yeah.
You were there, weren't you, Farmers? I think.
Oh, that classic moment. Yes. You were there. Yeah, Travis.
Blue was there as well.
Yeah, that's true. I remember that now.
And Bob the Science Guy was there. It was quite a...
Yeah.
Perfect moment, perfect timing.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, I wasn't there, but I heard the recording.
You couldn't have done it better if you planned it. It was just. I guess that's why it works. It's just one of those random moments that just superb.
Yeah, one of those moments you just got to be there for it.
It worked out well, that one.
That did.
Coriolis, no less. Anyway.
Oh, man.
I think we better get back to the...
We can hardly get a word in at all tonight with Blue.
He just hasn't shut up, has he?
Never stops talking, Blue.
Yeah.
Never stops. Yep.
Can we talk now, Blue?
I think he's asleep.
Oh, well.
Huh? What?
Huh?
Oh, look, there he's on.
You woke up at the right end of the stream, Blue, because we're going.
I've been listening.
Oh, okay.
That's all right.
How'd you go in the quiz?
Paul only got 2 questions right.
Oh. Only 2.
Paul's fault. Do better next time.
Yeah. Well, at least I got a question right, and it was a hard one too. It was only on the second clue or whatever.
You were the first one to get that one right.
Yeah, nice.
I thought it was a hard question.
It was, because I couldn't get it.
It was at that point, I think. Yeah, that was that Mona Lisa?
That was the Mona Lisa one. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a Mona Lisa one. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe you should get more questions like that I know the answer to and beat everyone else.
Well, you'll have to have a word with Paul, won't you?
You talk to Paul before the start.
Pre-screen the questions beforehand and go, I know that one. Yeah, put that one in. Yeah.
You just ask Paul, do you mind if I proofread your questions? Just
a heads up. Yeah. Let me just spell check everything.
Yeah, I don't mind getting a couple of answers before the Peanuts and these guys. Doesn't mean to say I'm any smarter. It just means I got something rattling around in my brain knowledge that I didn't even know I had.
Well, you know, don't you? You know when you know, and you don't know when you don't know.
Yeah.
You can't know something you don't know because you haven't been told what you know.
But I don't know what I don't know what I don't know.
But I don't know if you know that.
Probably.
The known unknowns and the unknown unknowns.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking of.
They're a problem too. Yeah.
I do know what I do know.
Well, of course you know what you do know, because otherwise you wouldn't know them.
You wouldn't know it.
Yeah.
But I do know something. Anything. I know something now because I'm.
But I didn't know that.
Everyone.
No, I didn't know that.
Night Fireman, Night Alan, Night Timbo, Night Blue, Night Hans, Geiger, Night Matt,
Peanuts.
Night Peanuts.
Always a pleasure. Never
Zebulon, Microraptor, John, Carl, Zebulon, Farmer's Boy, Alan Evans,
who?
Earth Warrior. I don't know, I'm just reading the names out there. Ivan Van Veen, Boomer U, Clive,
Earth Warrior.
Stew. Yeah, I read them.
No.
Not a Road Warrior.
I got it. Yeah, not Road Warrior. No. M2M.
John Stock's there as well.
Yeah, John Stock.
Never
Timbo
saw him.
Turtle.
John Stocks.
Spooky Bed Hair. Carl. Don't forget Carl. And where's Wally?
Don't forget Carl. He's over there.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Truth Nerds.
Maybe.
Who else did we have? We had Spooky Bed Hair earlier. I remember Spook. Brian Evans. Fred Bailey. I'm going to miss somebody here. No Dora, but there was a Judy.
There was a Dora.
There was a Dora.
Dora was there for a little bit.
Dora was here briefly, I think. Yeah, I don't think she's here very long. She was here.
Mm. Oh, and don't forget Sean.
Oh yeah, Sean was here.
Predominant
nerds.
Predominant names or prominent names? Missing in his live chat.
Predominant versus after dominant.
Prominent. Or post-dominant.
Oh, I found Rumsfeld's full speech. Truth Nerds has posted some of it.
Talking about Truth Nerds earlier on said, quick, end the show before M2M shields himself.
Yeah,
And I read it
when
I first read it though. I thought it said quick, end the stream before M2M shits himself. You know, your brain sometimes reads what you want.
You did say when you first came in that you were late because you had soiled yourself.
Yeah, you're right. That's true.
So, you know,
adds up. You know,
you sort of set that one up a little bit, really, didn't you?
and you caught us by surprise because we thought when we were starting the stream, we thought we'd look. Okay, who's here? Okay, everyone's here. Oh, Matt's not here. And Matt won't turn up tonight. It's a Saturday night. We know what happens Saturday nights.
No, I was otherwise occupied. Sorting myself.
Sorting himself. Yeah. You really should have kicked that habit by now, mate. You know.
No, kind of. You know, comes with age. You
know. I don't do it.
Yeah, I don't do it.
Okay.
And we're the same age, mate. So come on.
Yeah, I'm a lot older than you.
I might be a lot older than you. Lot, you don't know. You don't know for sure, really.
Yes, we do.
Well, we do know what we don't know. So you don't know that we don't know.
Well, precisely, you don't know, do you?
Anyway, weren't we going somewhere? Oh, that's right.
Yeah, you got the button.
Bye.
Yeah,
peanuts.
bye.
Bye. See you guys.
Peanuts.
Bye.
Good night, John. Bye.
Don't soil yourself.
Yeah, don't do that. It's not good.